The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey,
What?
let's go!
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pink!
Damn it! Your friend tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Are You Serious Tuesday, March 25th, 2025. This program starts now.
Sports!
Are fantastic, and today we get a chance to talk about a lot of them. Now, obviously, March Madness is still taking place with the Sweet 16 tipping off on Thursday. We'll have Coach Calipari of the Arkansas, woo pig suey. Fine folks over there in Arkansas. I've had a lot of Arkansasians tell me.
Nailed it.
That's how it goes. Yeah.
That's it.
I think that's what they are.
Yeah. That's it.
Tell me that we are a disgrace to the Woo Pig Sueys whenever we do it on this particular program.
sorry, how's that?
I'd like to let you know we think we're crushing it. So the next time we get out to Arkansas, which will hopefully be sooner than later, obviously you've been out there for a couple boozing evenings and a golf event, and they have legendary alumni over there. If you think about, Jerry Jones, Walmart, John Daly, you're talking about a lot of people that are in on sports over there. So next time we go out there, maybe we'll learn the Woo Pig Suey thing a little bit better. But Western Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh Paisan, John Calipari will be joining us in about 14 minutes or so. Cannot wait to chat about their next round. This is another team he's led to the Sweet 16, and he's saying that this feels like his most fulfilling and most gratifying because of how they started. Remember, 0-5 in the SEC to begin the season. 0% chance to make the tournament whenever they were talking about the beginning of this Arkansas Razorback squad. And instead, what do? They make it to the Sweet 16 because that's what Calipari does. He's been in 24 of these 32 March Madness tournaments, and the guy's experience is obviously fantastic. And his team on the defensive side, always going to strap it down, and they certainly did against the St. John's team that wasn't able to shoot. That's what everybody said. And then obviously Kansas, with the incredible history that they have and the amount of success itself has had, it's been a Hall of Fame coach row thus far for Cal. Why does he think his team is still rolling? We'll chat with him about that. And then at 12:45 Eastern, we'll have Derik Queen of Maryland, who is from Baltimore. Don't know if you knew that. And, there was an opportunity to potentially have a game winner, down 1, 3.6 seconds left in the game. Coach Kevin Willard of the Maryland Terrapins says to his team, "Who wants the ball?" That guy says, "Give me a motherfucking ball." And then some people said he traveled. I don't know. Could have had a nice little late dribble. He's 6'10", so I think those steps are very, very long. Whatever the case, they did not call it. He puts it up and touches with the basketball gods. Big fundamental Tim Duncan watched that thing and said, "Great work, young lad." He is a freshman, the Big Ten Freshman of the Year. He will be joining us in about 43 minutes or so. Can't wait to chat with him. He's awesome. Not only in the give me the ball moment, not only doing this, and this had to feel so good after he scores it and his entire team is jumping around him, but his press conferences, just talking like he's a professional. And we did a little research on this guy. He played for a team in Florida last year. It's called
the Mount Verde Academy with Cooper Flagg and Liam McWhite.
Yeah, exactly. Him, Liam McWhite, and Cooper Flagg were part of the starting five. That would have been an awesome show to watch. I would have loved to have been able to see them play high school hoops. I assume they beat everybody by at least 50 points per game. But I wonder, these guys have just been treated and acting like they move like Cooper Flagg moves from Maine to Florida to go. He moves from Maryland down to Florida to go. It's like these guys have been living like professional athletes for the last few years. I know basketball has been like this for a long time because they're like recruiting teenagers in the basketball world. Shoe companies have been doing it for a long time. Agents obviously get in there. But now with the way the NIL is and the way college is, they're like professionals already. And this kid still has braces. Okay, that's how young he still has brace. Cooper Flagg, I think, could be getting ready to go to prom because he reclassified. Yeah. Like, these dudes seemingly at a younger age, much more mature whenever it comes to handling yourself. Cannot wait to chat with Derik Queen. And then the second hour, ladies and gentlemen, it's Dick Vitale will be joining us.
What?
Baby! Yeah, it is going to be absurd. We'll also potentially have some NFL guests in the second hour. We shall see what comes together. You are the greatest people on earth for allowing us to do this for a living. I was in Scotland last night, woke up here in Indiana this morning, and I'll tell you what, it is a great day to chit-chat about sports. So much going on. We have pro days. We have storylines developing. We have draft conversation. We have free agency chatter still. Who's going to be the quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers and the New York Giants? And J.J. McCarthy was on Up and Adams this morning with Kay Adams on FanDuel TV, and he said the Vikings have not told him he's the number one guy yet. So what is going on everywhere? We shall do our bullshit through it all. The Talks the Tables here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. Con Man. The New England Patriots, Mike Vrabel, joined Don't At Me with Dan Dawkins
That's
today.
right.
We have not got a chance to hear much of that, but you guys in a great spot with the way the mock drafts are going, sitting there at number 4.
Yeah, I feel fantastic, especially when Elliot Wolf comes out, basically the pseudo GM. I believe he is still the director of player personnel, and says, hey, look, last year we kind of drafted on, what do we need the most? This year we're drafting based on best available. So you feel great hearing things of that nature. You feel great because Mike Vrabel is also leading the way, but also, who knows? You can't win any games in April in the draft, but, maybe we can.
They're saying number 1's locked up.
Yep.
Let's go to 9-year NFL vet Darius J. Butler.
Yes, sir.
Daniel Jeremiah said that. I think Rappaport said that. Everybody has said that Cam Ward is going to be the number 1 overall pick. Congrats to Cam, Butler.
Oh, yeah,
Congrats to Cam. Minus 700 is a massive favorite. That seems like everybody kind of understands it. Then he has his pro day yesterday.
Yeah.
Shows out completely. And I think he even says to the Tennessee Titans people like, hey, I'm going to solidify this thing today. What did you see from that pro day yesterday? And how much should we be judging from pro days?
You know what? Pro day is not a big deal. I think DJ said it yesterday. For this guy, for Cam Ward, is pretty much a proof of life. He just needed to show up, hold that day's newspaper, and show that he was alive. But he came out there and did. I heard him speak afterwards. He said pretty much a bunch of their Miami stuff, running plays, game-like reps. We knew who he is. Yeah, 3-step, 5-step, under center, moving from the pocket, things we typically see from the pro days. We all remember the Zach Wilson when he flew up the boards. But this guy, he's been a dominant competitor everywhere he's been. Watching his pro day again, it made me heartbroken again as a UM fan. How the hell didn't we at least get into the 12-team playoffs? The record-breaking season that he had at UM and what this offense did. Cam Ward, he did what a ton of people expect him to do, and it's pretty much locked down, and he will be that number 1 pick.
Yeah, his collegiate career is obviously one that should be chatted about a lot. Started at Incarnate Word, then he goes to Washington State, and then the NIL and the transfer portal allow him an opportunity to introduce himself to a bigger part of the world. Not that he didn't in Washington State. Obviously, we knew of him at Washington State and what they went through. And once again, we'd like to reiterate the fact we had no idea at the time that Washington State was not going to end up in a conference.
Sure. Sad.
I apologize. That's naivety out of me. I didn't know that there was that type of ineptitude at certain leadership positions, because what Washington State was building up there was awesome. Same with Oregon. I mean, there was a lot of great happening. So whenever the Pac-12 disappears, and with the transfer portal and the NIL, him getting an opportunity to go to the U, flip their entire thing, and then get primetime push, and we all kind of get introduced to him. I think it was a great play, and that's one of the upsides, I think, of the transfer portal in the NIL, especially for players.
I think last year, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't he put his name, I think you said put his name in the draft, and then came back, I think it was between UM and Florida State maybe. So you're talking about coming back and really betting on yourself and now becoming, we all assume, the number 1 pick in the NFL draft. Like, that's impressive.
You talk about Florida State and Miami. Florida State gets DJ Uiagalelei out of Oregon State. Miami gets Cam Ward out of Washington State, and there's 2 different outcomes. Two different outcomes there. Not that it's DJ Uiagalelei's fault, but it did not work whenever he went to Florida State at all. It worked whenever Cam went down to Miami. This throw, when I first saw a tweet, somebody said 82 yards. This dude standing on his own 6, throws it to the other 10 or whatever the case is. I found out quick. There's no 50-yard line. There's no 40s. Yeah, we had 10, 20, 30, 30, 20, 10. Yeah, it's not. Some people watch that video. They're like, that guy's throwing for the 5, the other 10. Holy shit! Which is definitely worthy of the convo. I think it's like 54 yards rolling across your body fadeaway, which is still a dime. Yeah, absolute dime. And he had a lot of time to get it there.
Whoa! What are you saying?
Plenty of time up there.
What are you saying?
We've talked about this off air here this morning. Restrepo's people should have been doing everything they possibly could to either get a false narrative out there about an injury of some sort, or just say, let them just watch the film. Don't just let him watch the film.
Put the
Don't
tape
need
on.
the run.
Yeah.
Even in the pro day there, look good, great catch, have a couple sideline things. Allegedly, this guy ran 4.8 and a 4.76 or something, 4.72 or something like that. And then that led to a tweet, obviously, from he and many others going, it's not about how fast you run on track. This is football. Come on. This is football. We looked it up. It is football. There's not a lot of wide receivers in the NFL that are running 4.8s that are going to get open. Now, with that being said, this guy's the all-time leading receiver in the history of the University of Miami. University of Miami has a lot of history. You start rattling through the names of the wide receivers that have played at Miami. You think to yourself, wow, this is amazing. This guy has the most yards out of any of them. And obviously he was a massive piece of this Miami team last year. He and Cam Ward were spectacular. And obviously, whenever you're able to find holes in defenses, that is certainly something that is an upside for a wide receiver. 4.8, though, at a pro day. Because, at the pro day, they can even get the numbers out a little bit faster because there's scattered stopwatches.
That's tough.
That's tough. I didn't like seeing that at all because I love watching him play football. Awesome. And now I think to myself, somebody's going to get him in. Hopefully somebody brings him into a building. They will. And when he gets into the building, hopefully his football speed is still what we saw whenever he was at college. Because in the NFL, the third corner, so a lot of people are saying put him at slot. Those guys are getting paid now like $25-30 million.
They're pretty good.
And those guys, if you can get open and run good routes, so can they. They can as well.
Yeah,
and they're saying he's more quick than fast. How much should we look into a 4.8 40, potentially 4.7 something 40 at a wide receiver position? And what are your thoughts about what he's going to be at the NFL? And can he play at the NFL at that speed?
I mean, thoughts number one on Restrepo, being a South Florida kid, it's kind of like how Queen said, when you have that confidence when you leave South Florida as a football player, just like he does from Baltimore to DMV. Hey, if I can make it here, I can make it anywhere. Thrived in South Florida as a high schooler. Obviously thrived at UM to break all those records. So we know without a doubt this kid can play football at a high level. Now, it's a crapshoot when you go into the draft, and all the evaluators, the decision makers, they take this into consideration, the measurables. So running a 4.8 and not being a big guy definitely doesn't help, the process for him. So he definitely lost some money, I would say. We always say, hey, people earn some money golden, going to the combine running a 4.2. People didn't expect that, had great tape. He definitely made some money. So I would say he lost some money on the front end, but if he gets into a building, which I think he still will get drafted, I think he'll still have an opportunity. And I think, honestly, he'll still make plays. I really believe in guys that are productive on every level. If they get to the next level, they're going to continue to be productive. But it is important for him to get in the right system, because the thing about the NFL, your windows, you get them, but they close really, really quickly, especially when you're not fast. So being able to get open and have a quarterback that can put the ball right on him, he can definitely be successful in the next level.
Good luck, brother.
Go get him.
Pulling for you. We have, there's been some other, slower 40 times documented during the draft cycle. Hunter Renfrow, 4.59. Now, once again, it's not a 4.8.
That's not. That's not.
Larry Fitzgerald, 4.63. Once again, not a 4.8, but
boy.
Larry Fitzgerald played like 14 years. And
6'4", 220.
Monster, man. Keenan Allen, 4.71. Now, this came after he tore his PCL, I believe, during the season. So they're saying he wasn't fully healthy whenever he ran his 4.71. And Jarvis Landry is the easiest comp everybody was making because he ran a 4.77 at the combine. I guess he got hurt during that. And then his pro day, he would follow up and run a 4.51. So it's like, seeing a 4.8 number is not normal. Like, that is not something that is normal. But also what Restrepo was able to do at Miami was not normal either. Maybe the football just kind of does its thing for him, and I'm pulling for him.
He's a football player, and I love the part of him that is the competitor. That, hey, I'm going to go out here and compete. I'm going to go out here and run this time. Whatever it is, I'm going to go and run it. I'm going to go and do it. If I was his representative, if I was his big brother, if I was his little brother, mom, dad, don't go out there and put a 4.7, 4.8 on wax. You just don't do it. Let him assume. Sometimes you just don't run. Hey, tweak the hammy, tweak the something, something that we expect to recover in a couple weeks.
Yeah, that needed to get out
there. Put the tape on. Put the damn tape on. Watch number 7 play. We know he can play football.
Sorry, I can't. I can do routes with Cam. I don't think I'll be able to.
About it.
The explosion to get out there. I got a little bit of a tight, this thing out here, this
IT band.
The IT band. A little bit. I don't know if I'll be able to do that today. If I run, it's going to be slow.
Yeah.
It's going to be slow. I won't do that. Obviously, you guys don't want me to do that because the amount of plays he made, absurd. Yes. But this comes into the full combine draft process now. Slow 40s are talked about. Very fast 40's talked about.
Yeah.
Very slow 40's talked about. If you just run like in the window, not a conversation, just kind of keep it moving. Like somebody said, we don't even remember who the guy was said he was going to break the record at the Combine, right? No, because he ran an okay one. He ran like a 4.4 instead of a 4.2 something, but it's like he's in the window. He's good. There it is, Isaiah Bond, the Texas guy. Golden ends up running the fast one too. They were saying they were going to get 4.2 or whatever. They didn't, but they ran in the window, so not a conversation anymore. If you don't hit the window, it's like conversation all of a sudden by people that don't matter. Like we don't matter. People on the internet don't matter. If somebody thinks he can make plays, bring him into a building.
One team.
He's going to have the opportunity to do that. We're pulling for him.
Yeah, another one that kind of popped up was Welker, and he ran a 4.65, and obviously Wes Welker, everyone, he's one of the most successful slot guys ever, you could argue. But for Restrepo, you're talking about systems, like maybe this was planned. Maybe he said, you know what? Tennessee Titans, who am I the best wide receiver with? Cam Ward. So if I just run super slow, I'll go undrafted, and then guess where I'm going? I'm going to Tennessee to play with my best friend Cam Ward, my brother, who we won a lot of games with at Miami. You never know. Maybe that's the case. Okay. And if it is one of those situations, maybe Cam Ward also said to Borgonzi and the boys, like, "Hey, Restrepo is going to run like shit today, so you guys are going to be able to get him in the 6th, 7th round if you want."
There is a chance too, with the way we've seen that indoor field built. Maybe their 40 is actually 41.5 yards.
Maybe.
Might be a little bit longer because it's 10, 20, 30, 30, 20, 10. Maybe the individual yardage is a little bit longer as well. Let's pivot away from pro days. Good luck, Xavier. Man. You were great at Miami. We hope you continue to do your thing in the NFL. Same with Cam. Congrats on having a great day. And I like the way he talked afterwards. He was chit-chatting about for my teammates, basically. Like, all 32 teams are here to watch my teammates, which I'm very pumped about and thankful for. And he was talking about going under center, play action. He was like, there's a lot of shit that I didn't get a chance to showcase that I want to let people know that I do. And seems like he did. Love his mentality. Love everything about it. Good luck to him in Tennessee. Great. Coming to the AFC South. Let's go to college basketball, shall we? To a GOAT. Ladies and gentlemen, he currently has 59 NCAA tournament wins, most by an active coach.
Wow.
That's a lot of wins.
Yeah.
Ton.
There's coaches that don't have that many wins in the regular season. This is in tournament time. 24 of the 32 tournaments have seen this man's name and face all over it. Out of Moon Township, outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Ladies and gentlemen, the head coach for Arkansas, Coach Calipari. How we doing, Paisan?
I'm doing good. We're still playing. Now, we're 16 out of 16, deep 16, but we're still playing.
Okay, so let's talk about it. There hasn't been as many upsets this year. There hasn't been like a Cinderella story. Your team is the one that's being talked about. And obviously, I think as somebody who is a casual college ball fan, anytime a Calipari coach team is in a tournament, it's normally going to be this team's going to win. This team's going to do well. Now you're like the underdog. Now you're like the Cinderella. Now you got people like, hey, it's Arkansas. Let's go, Arkansas, for the good of it all. How have you been using that with your team? Have you acknowledged that? And how do the boys feel about where they are right now?
We're the underdog. We know it, but Pat, you're just too young. When I was at UMass and when I was at Memphis, we were always the underdog. And you kind of like it. You want them to play free and loose. But again, this tournament, you're right, there weren't a whole lot of upsets. And so people are all still alive. The good news, you were an athlete. You guys, you got to get in the ring. You got to step the ropes, and you got to get in. And we bees in the ring. And let's see what happens. Now, Texas Tech, woo, are they good? They talk about shooting threes, but they also can post the ball. They also play ISO basketball. They break it down on the dribble. I'm watching what are you going to try to take away? Well-coached team. I mean, they deserve all the accolades they're getting. Really good players that make plays. So we know it's going to be a hard game for us. But I tell you, we'll show up and let's see how we do.
That'll be on Thursday, Sweet 16 for Arkansas, taking on Texas Tech. How long have you started watching film on them? Did you do it before? I don't remember if you told us you're looking ahead or not.
When we got on the plane, after we won that game against St. John's, I said, we got a 3-hour trip. Give me some tape. And I watched 2 halves And I said, no, because I got to get in a different frame of mind. They didn't miss any shots. I'm like, what the? I don't want to watch any more of this because I have to get to where we got a chance.
Yeah.
So, I did watch it on the way home, and I've watched some. I like to watch their last 5 games.
Yeah.
Because the last 5 gives you an indication of how they're playing now. You go and try to do something in December, November. Who gives shit? As you would say, who gives a shit?
Yeah, that is
it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it is how
And then the last thing, and am I breaking this with you, Pat?
Come on.
Adu Thiero is available.
Okay.
Come on.
Okay.
He is available. Now, I played Boogie, who was available, 15, 18 minutes, but he helped us win the game.
Huge.
He made the steal. He made the plays. He made the assist. Now, Adu, it's a different deal because we need his toughness and his athleticism. The most he'll play, 12 minutes, maybe 15, maybe, I doubt. But you got to prepare now because we're a different team. Finally, we got a full roster.
Yeah, I was about to say, you're getting deeper. You're getting deeper of a bench as you're getting deeper into the tournament. That has to be a good feeling, especially as other teams are going the other direction, right?
Well, that and the fact that we had foul trouble against St. John's. My big guy fouled, and I told him, look, I'm leaving you in. Left. Don't foul. And he fouled. I said, what? What are you doing? He said, I did foul. You can't foul in those situations. Now I can't play you in the whole half. And then the other guy fouls out, Big Z, who's playing better, thank God, because we need him. But now you don't have to go to a 4-man zone. Like 2, 3 guys. Like, okay, let's play a diamond zone. We only got 4 guys. So it's still, look, and everybody wondered, well, how will he affect the team, Boogie? And I said, Boogie came into me, and I told you last time we were on, and came in and said, I don't want to hurt this team. You just tell me how you want me to play because we're playing good. And I said, listen, you're going to play off the ball instead of on the ball, make plays, and I need you to defend and come up with steals. I don't know how much you'll play, but be ready. I'll have the same talk with Adu. Adu wanted to play. He's the only reason he's playing is he said, I'm playing.
That's awesome.
I want to help this team.
Okay, so let's talk about that. You talk about his toughness and quickness, and you said the same thing to Boogie whenever
he was our leading scorer, our leading rebounder.
Okay, so let's talk about it. Everybody's chatting about how Patino's team had no offense. These guys have no offense. I feel like a Calipari team, defense is the thing, right? I mean, that is kind of your animal. That is kind of what gets better throughout the season. How do you feel about your team's current state of defense, and do you think you have a chance to go on a real run here? You say you got to step into the ring and fight, but do you think you have the pillars to have a championship team?
All the 16 coaches know we're all 2-0. Don't matter what you did all season. We're now 2-0. You have a chance. We're going to have to defend like crazy. Let me tell you what else I saw on the tape when I watched Texas Tech. Their offensive rebounds are not to stick it back in the basket. They offensive rebound to kick it out and get a 3. Their transition offense to get 3s really as good as I've seen. This will be a hard game. But I like my team. I like my players. I even let them drench me after the game, which I look at them, don't you do that to me. And after this game, I said, bring it on, boys. Bring it on.
Yeah.
Look, as rewarding, I've been doing this a long time. And we've had some ridiculous, we won 38 straight one year.
Yeah.
Won a national title. This has been as rewarding as any season I've coached. I can remember busting through at UMass and busting through at Memphis. And what we did in a stretch at Kentucky. But we were dead to rights. We were thrown in the coffin. They pushed the top down, but they didn't nail him. They just they said, he can't get out. Don't even worry about the nails. And I'm not talking just me. I'm talking our team. They counted our team out. And so I came in with the shirt because I didn't want to get my suit wet.
Yeah, smart.
But I told him, go ahead.
Very paisan of you saying, hey, listen, don't touch the suit, boys. Okay, we got a good sport coat on here. We got a good button down. Don't you touch it. But the shirt, you do your thing. And I heard you say this was the most rewarding. And last time we talked to you, you chatted about the 0-5 start. And you know how you felt like everybody was kind of like, hold on, even yourself. And with how it ended, the last stop, obviously we don't have to bring up that, but you had great times. And then on the way out, I think everybody was kind of ready for a fresh start. You go out there, starts terribly. Now you get a chance to get back to the Sweet 16. I got some stats here. This will be your 16th Sweet 16 game. Do you know what his record is in the first 15 Sweet 16 games that he's been in?
What's that?
12-3. 2-1 at UMass, 3-1 at Memphis, 7-1 at Kentucky. Feels like you do A-okay in the Sweet 16. Excited to watch you do it with this one. But you talk about it being rewarding personally as well, I assume, because you talked about the confidence with the team. But at the end of Kentucky there, you were this guy.
It was great for me and great for Kentucky. They're doing great. We put 15, this is my 16th year in the SEC. 15 years, my heart and soul. You see my daughter, my wife, they're into this just like I am. And we gave everything we had, but it was time. It was time. Now, someone could go in and match what we did over that period of time. I wish them well. I'm in another situation, and I'm at peace. I'm at peace with what went on. I'm not being revengeful. I went into Kentucky. We won that game. I was humble about it. I'm not like trying to beat them because they did this. None of that. I'm about these kids. And my job right now is to stay locked in. I'm not listening, reading. I don't care. He's the worst. He can't. Okay, I agree with you. Can we get on to something more important, which is I got to coach these kids.
That's awesome.
And you know what? What they've done, I owe that to them. What they've done this year, they could have let go and given up the rope and given up on me. They didn't give up on each other or the staff. And my staff was unbelievable through this because they could have scattered, and they didn't. They just kept working, and now we're there. But Texas Tech is
real.
Good.
Yeah, they are. They absolutely are. We concur completely. Sweet 16, everybody's going to be great, especially this year. You were being talked about as the underdog team because you knock out number 2 ranked St. John's. On that note, Connor has a question for you.
Yeah, Coach, how was the interaction with Pitino after the game? Was it like a Michael Jordan, Larry Bird situation, or was it more so like a very jovial, good to see you, good luck the rest of the way type
Before the game or after?
After, or both, unless you guys talked a little shit before.
Unless there's some juice.
Yeah.
Look, after the game, he said, good luck in the rest of the tournament. I wish you well. And I knew it's heartbreaking when you lose at this time of the year. So I thought it was a gracious, and I was trying to say, look, if they made a couple shots, they beat us. Yeah. So it wasn't like we just bowled them over, but he had an unbelievable year with his team, and it's heartbreaking. So he was good after.
Yeah. How about beforehand? Hold on. I saw some shit. I don't know enough about it because I'm college basketball. You two, obviously, in Kentucky, there's a lot in that conversation and rivalry, but obviously incredibly Italian. I saw sit-downs of you guys together, 20 years ago?
Yeah, 96.
Yeah, 30 years ago, and then obviously deep relationship because you guys have been in the same. How is the relationship with you and Pitino and other legends amongst the sport? Yeah, there it is. Look at young paisans there.
This thing is so competitive. It's not like old school. When I was with Ted Owens at Kansas and Larry Brown, they would have dinner the night before with the opposing coach. They would have breakfast with the guy. Ours are peace, brother. See ya. And it's just different.
Yeah.
There's so much more. I don't know. I don't want to say what's more at stake, but and then Rick was at Louisville I was at Kentucky.
Yeah.
We weren't going to be friends. It was like that game was like life and death in the state. And I tried to play it down, but it was life and death in the state. And so I've always respected him. I've watched what he does and how he does it. And, everywhere he's been, even the last where he was in Greece and then he was in Iona, he gets it going. He's at St. John's. He gets it going. So, you have to respect it, especially the number of years he's been doing it.
I wonder if there's.
He said he liked my coat, by the way. There are other guys that were hitting me. They didn't like my coat. I don't give a shit if you like my coat or not.
But it's nice to hear from Patina, though. He has a little extra sauce. You paisans. He has a little extra sauce with how he dresses as well. Yeah, I mean that's a good person to get a compliment from. And hopefully one day, I mean, who knows if either of you are ever going to retire from this? You guys are able to have a little Sunday gravy, a little gabagool, a little prosciutto together. Able to kind of look back on the times of two Italians doing great things for the obvious sport of college basketball. D-Bud has a question for you about now.
Yeah, kind of on that note, I think Coach Patino talked about not even recruiting high school kids or something along those lines, like the team building philosophy. Obviously, you've been doing it for a long, long time. I remember some of your great teams, a lot of the one and done guys. But how much has your philosophy changed when it comes to team building when you have to pretty much put this whole roster together and then go on this run? And when do you kind of feel like you guys become that unit?
So that's a great question. Here's what I would tell you. You're going to have to look up the year. It was either 15 or 16. We were in the national championship game. You know how many freshmen I started that year?
Hold on. Is this when you missed all those free throws?
All five?
No, that was when that was Memphis. I'm talking Kentucky. I started 5 freshmen.
Whew.
That's not going to happen again because too many players are staying too long. So now I am still recruiting the best freshmen in the country. It's in my DNA to help them and their families and put it together. But I got to get some returners and I got to get a couple transfers to go. We signed a couple now. We're looking to sign one more. And they will be they'll be the big part of what we do.
Yeah.
We'll have hopefully 3-4 come back. And we'll have a couple transfers, a couple big kids. Anybody that wants to get better, wants to be trained, wants to be a part of something special, wants to be made to be uncomfortable so you can learn to be comfortable, be in the best shape of your life, and be on a team with other really good players, which you want to go somewhere to be the only player. That's like going in a gym and you're by far the best player in the gym. You're in the wrong gym.
Yeah, don't go to LA Fitness.
You want to walk in the gym?
Yeah, go to
Walk in and
Equinox.
say, I got dunked on twice.
Yeah,
so
agreed. Okay, so on that note, talking about recruiting and everything, we're having Derik Queen join us here in like 15 minutes.
He's good. Woo,
Unbelievable.
he's good.
Unbelievable. So
he's always been good.
Okay,
he
so
can pass.
Yeah,
he's like got guard skills.
Okay, so let's talk about that. We saw his high school team down in Montverde, and I don't know enough about high school basketball, is what I'm learning. Him, McWhite guy from UConn, and Cooper Flagg were all in the same high school academy team. Is that how it works? These academies are kind of recruiting?
Some, but it's starting to move out because you know why? NIL in high school.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you're not getting 6 guys at one school right now.
Got it.
So now, if your high school prep school is not able to help them with NIL, you're probably not going to get as many kids. So I think that will kind of the same that, like I said, with us. And I used to recruit 6, 7, 8 freshmen. Can't do it.
Yeah.
Most you can get now are 3 to 4.
Well, hopefully, college basketball only continues to get better and better because of all this. The NFL, I think, is getting, or I'm sorry, college football, I think, is getting better because of transfer portal and NIL. Do you think same thing for college hoops or not? Because you didn't even have a team last year.
The only thing I said I was really disappointed in, and it's happened. There are kids in the United States that are freshmen that deserve scholarships to college that are not, they're 700-800 will not get scholarships, and they're good enough.
Damn.
But we're all waiting for transfers. So now that is what disappoints me the most. And part of the reason I won't change, I just can't do as many. There are kids. I had a friend of mine call, my son's a Division I player. He doesn't even have an offer because everybody's waiting for this transfer. How many of my guys are coming back? How many transfers can I get? I may only have 1 or 2 scholarships for a freshman.
That's happening in football too. Do you think there has to be something with the calendar? Because like the football calendar, people are talking about how there was a transfer window in the middle of the playoff, okay, which obviously caused a scene, which I think you guys are dealing with currently right now. And then there's a spring transfer window that is in the middle of some people's spring ball for football. And it's like, there's a lot like with that entirety of like scholarship transfer windows, when people are leaving, when coaches find out who they have. Sounds like in basketball, it's pretty problematic as well with the way the calendar is set up.
It is. And here's the other thing. There are a lot of kids that are going to put their name in the portal thinking, I'm going to make money. And they got nothing. They're not getting a scholarship. There are none left. And there are many of us that if you put your name in the portal, I'd probably say, you got to go now. If you're going to do it, I'll see you. And because you pour in so much to these young people, if they're not coming back with the loving each other. What is this, one way? And so you would probably say to me, I'd be hurt. It hurt my heart. You're putting your name in the portal instead of coming and but I just want to see and maybe I'll come back. Well, no, it's not how that works. And so, we got, again, great kids that were raised right. Their family. Look, Dwan Wagner, that's DJ's dad, played for me. Carter Knox, his brother, played for me. Billy Richmond, his dad, played for me. Even Aiden's father played for me. So, like I said, these are good people that wanted their kid here. And it was hard. And I am hard. I'm Italian. I'm loud. I'm not going to sit... Hi, you're okay. Just, I get aggressive. I can't help myself.
Yeah, you're from Western Pennsylvania and you're Italian. We understand completely. We understand completely how it goes. And obviously, you've been able to bring out the best in a lot of people. And the fact that family members are saying you should go play for that, I think that is the biggest compliment that any of your ex-players could show for you. But I'll tell you what, that does say you're an old ass, brother. You're an old ass man. But that olive oil making you look young. Speaking of, Anthony DiGiulio has a question for you.
Yeah, Coach. Speaking of being old, I'm getting old, so I go to bed most nights before 10:09 Eastern when your game's going to tip off Thursday. Now, obviously, the players are kids. Do you guys have to do anything different for a late tip on Thursday?
Well, it's not late. We're in San Francisco. So for us, it's anybody watching on the East Coast, you're going to have to stay up. But for us, it's fine.
10:09.
The game that's a hard one, noon.
Oh.
Hard game, noon. Because at that time, whoever shows up's probably winning the game. And even in this, they'll be excited, but 8 minutes in, there's someone will let go of the rope. So noon is a tough one. I don't care how late. Now, I'll be honest, because, Pat, what'd you say I was? Old?
No, Italian, handsome, successful, old. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of things.
So I don't like coaching at 10 p.m. I'm normally in bed by 9:30, 10
all of us. Yeah, all of us. Hey, but this is madness. This is madness. You know it better than anybody. On that note, Ty has a question for you.
Yeah, Coach, I know how every round is basically its own tournament in and of itself, but when you get to the second weekend like this and you have 2 great wins against Kansas and St. John's, is there any kind of residual momentum that you guys are still playing with, even though several days have passed and you're kind of on to the next phase of the tournament?
Anything in the past doesn't matter. My record does not matter. The other guy can be 2-0 in his history and go in and win by 30. It does not matter. Now, what I've said is we're in a tournament with Florida, Maryland, Texas Tech, and us. That's all we're looking at. We're in that tournament. Now, all we're worried about is Texas Tech. We know how good they are, how well they're coached, how they shoot, how they drive, how they post. I mean, I'm looking at them like I had to literally put it down. I'm not – and they weren't highlights. It was the game I was watching. So, yeah, you got to stay focused now. And our practices, I just want them spirited so that they're in that not one guy better act like I'm tired or I'm cool today. I'm going to, ain't no cool.
Yeah.
You get slapped. It's like you walk in the ring, you think you're cool. Be cool when you get punched in the forehead. How about that punch?
Yeah.
Now you're not cool anymore. You better protect yourself and be spirited about what you're doing.
I don't want anybody being fucking cool out here. Okay, I don't need it. Okay, I don't need it. You see the same Texas Tech team that I watch? I try to watch it on the flight home after we beat St. John's. Motherfuckers are too good. I said, turn this off. I'm in a good mood right now. I don't need to be getting a bad new coach. We can't thank you enough for joining us, man. Good luck on Thursday. Thank you for taking time, and we can't wait to see your boys. And congrats on a dude coming back. I guess it's first game since February 22nd is what Rothstein just reported. So let's go.
Thanks, guys.
No problem.
Appreciate you.
Hey, good luck to the boys. Tell him to be spirited. You playing music? He's gone.
Yeah. I thought it was an exit.
I thought so too. I didn't know when.
He was so locked in on.
He was trying to find the exit.
Yeah, the mouse. Yeah.
I don't get the hell out of here.
Where do I go? Leave.
Hey. All right. Those are the best. I'll be on a Zoom and the leave button won't pop up for whatever reason. And it's like, oh no, now the awkward sit here with whoever else is having the same problem that I'm having. Let me race out of here as quick as
trying
possible.
to hang up a call and you just can't hit that.
And then you can stay on too. You know that every once in a while Zoom will stay on your phone when you leave the thing, and then it's like, oh wait, I'm still on this thing. Holy shit! What just?
You know why?
I need to get out of here.
Huh.
What's that?
We know who made Zoom.
Sports Pope?
No.
CCP?
Yeah, there's chances to CCP.
You remember Sports Pope?
Oh yeah, he pretty much did invent it.
Yeah, he said on our show.
He did. Zoom's gonna be huge.
This was before. This was before.
Yeah.
COVID.
Really?
A lot of interesting stuff coming out about COVID. Before COVID, Mike Francesa.
Yep.
The Sports Pope.
The GOAT.
Of sports, him and Russo, I guess, created like yelling at each other for sports and very passionate. And I'm not from New York, so I didn't know them until I watched the documentary, and I was like, holy these guys are awesome. And Sports Pope, they used to just stay on for like 6 hours, just taking calls. You're an idiot. Hang up on them. Just for 6 hours straight. You're talking about absolute beast. So we had him on the program and asked him a few questions. And I don't know who did. Somebody knew. It might have been Ty. Like, yeah, I know you're an investor or whatever, like anything you're looking at. And he goes, couple things. And he says Zoom and what else? I forget.
I can't remember. I think the other one may have not fared as well. Yeah, but he did. He was ahead of the Zoom train. The Zoom's going to be huge. It's going to be big. So take it for what it's worth.
And then COVID happens and everybody, boom. Zoom, 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 zoom.
I'd be careful with these phones, though, man. Add people in group chats, and group calls.
What is it? That can't.
On accident.
That's a lot. That was a big. I wonder if that was one of those group texts that you have to click and then go into like a note section. You know how?
Yep, sure.
I'd assume with
that shared iCloud link.
I assume reading that first like 10 lines and then it has like a little arrow. Do you want to continue?
It's got to be a joke.
Yeah, I do. What the hell is going on?
Well, that
was a wild piece of information.
Yeah, you can understand how the names could get mixed up. You assume that one of the names was some sort of guard, and then the other was
exactly
like that. That's exactly why.
At wild times, I'm flying back from Scotland, and what a time over there! Shout out to Glasgow.
Looked awesome.
Shout out to Glasgow.
Nice day.
Active city. The sun was shining. Yeah. Every local person I said, I'm like, wow, what a beautiful day. Don't get used to it. Like gave me a full on. This never. I legitimately was I walked around for 4 hours. A lot of people walking around. I was the only person with sunglasses on. Okay, because I don't think they sell them.
Yeah, probably don't own them. Yeah.
And there was people that had
transition lenses.
So I saw a couple of those, but I was like 15, 20 minutes into the walk, and I'm like, oh, nobody has sunglasses. Like literally nobody has sunglasses on, and it was like perfect sun, and maybe some vitamins that carried over, from the flight.
That makes sense.
Or whatever. And I was like, nobody's wearing sunglasses. This is very interesting. So I literally had like a 45-minute. Deep thought while I was walking around about, could I find sunglasses right now if I had to? I don't think it's even a thing because it's very abnormal, I guess, for it to be such a perfect day, but it was. City, active, clean, people were very kind. They speak the same language as us, but I'll tell you,
tough to.
I couldn't understand.
Yeah.
They get rolling there, and it's that's what it sounds like, and I'm like, Were we speaking the same language? I think we are. And then every once in a while you hear something and a big laugh out of the group, and I felt like really left out of a couple different things. But I'd recommend Glasgow. Quick flight, quick in and out. Only 4-hour time zone difference, which is good, as opposed to like a 6 or a 7 that can happen.
Yeah, similar to Ireland as far as travel goes. It feels like. Where did you get the kilt? Because the fit was fantastic.
Oh, you're talking about McGregor and McDuff, the kings of kilt makers? Yeah, that was a big deal.
Clean look.
Hey, thank you. I felt pretty solid about it.
Might be the best one.
Yeah, I had to wear the Air Forces, but McGregor and McDuff was the place. And I did not know. I mean, I guess we should expect this in Scotland, but like this was a really happening spot. There was like 10 people that worked there. They were acting as if they were like bartenders, but they were kilt tenders. And people were coming in and out just trying to rent everything. Like they try to rent them for big events and everything, And they gave me all my measurements. They sent it to a warehouse. I rented it for an evening. That thing there is called a spawn. Oh, I don't want to get it wrong, but this thing is part of like your family.
Scottish belt buckle.
Oh, what's that in your sock?
Was that? Oh, yeah, it's a knife. Yeah. Gave me
It's a knife?
Yeah, I had a knife in my right sock there, just in case somebody comes. Okay, somebody comes. Jeez. I'm going to the calf, to the knife, to the throat.
You should have shanked Dahn.
To the throat. Boom. Bang.
Should've.
Boom. Now, granted, there's a chance that thing slices my calf. So I thought there was a little bit maybe an interesting design flaw in it all.
Sure.
But they said I just got to be an athlete, basically, and I get that thing, and then
boom.
I could kill somebody. So yeah, I was ready to go to war. The Air Forces were ready.
Yeah, clean.
They were ready to go. I probably first time those.
Good tie too.
Yeah, I couldn't tie it. Michael Cole had to tie it, obviously, but
I'm sure he's great at that.
It was a very professional evening. I felt good over there, and Scottish people were very welcoming. Joining us now, speaking of welcoming, we'd like to welcome this absolute dog onto the program. Just learned of him. That's on me. Should have learned about him a long time. He's from Baltimore. We know that because he was asked why he's so confident in big moments. He said, I'm from Baltimore, which... Shout out to Baltimore being a city where somebody can say that and we all understand.
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely. He is from Baltimore. Obviously had the game winner for Maryland the other evening after being asked by his coach who wants the ball. He said, and we quote, "Give me the motherfucking ball." Ladies and gentlemen, Derik Queen. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Good. Let's go back to that huddle, that moment. Did I just describe it exactly how it went? Is this been overblown, or is that actually how this goes? And how often has Coach Willard said, who wants the ball, who needs the ball?
He don't ask that often, but you said it right word for word.
Okay, because we didn't know, because he said in the quote it was MF. We didn't know if you added the in at the end, We didn't know if it was just motherfuck ball, and then that sounds a little bit different. Sounds like you're a little bit nervous, but instead we obviously flowed with. Let's talk about this Maryland team. Obviously you're Big Ten Freshman of the Year. Willard's been there for a few years now, has made the tournament 2 out of 3 years. Whenever you get recruited to come back to Maryland and everything takes place, is this the vision? Is this what Terrapins are possible? And when did you know this team had a shot to make a run in the tournament?
So this was my vision of doing like what I dreamed of. And I figured when we had a shot, probably first game of the season or second game of the season where we really like came together, gelled, like we all came here to win, do something. I mean, it's kind of like a whole new team from last year when they didn't make the tournament, and Coach Willard just like got us like an oil machine, put us together and got us working well together.
You're a Baltimore kid coming back to Maryland, obviously having this massive moment. How has it been going back home? Because we know you went to high school down in Florida. You and Mick White Guy from UConn and Cooper Flagg were all on the same team. I assume you guys won by 50 every single game. Going back to Maryland, though, how has it been?
I mean, it's been great. Like a lot of family members, friends get to see me. Campus been great. Like they really love the basketball players. They show me a lot of love. Try to they always give me words for encouragement, and they also tell me that I'm one of their favorites.
Well, yeah, you're 6'10", you move like a point guard, and you just hit a game winner fresh out of Baltimore. Let's talk about Coach Willard a little bit there, because you said he brings the best out of you. You did a press conference afterwards, and I want to let you know the way you handled things was as if you're like a 50-year-old man, okay? I just want to let you know how mature you were. Here's a question about why do you guys respond so well to Coach, and then your answer.
Willard's someone who basketball players listen to, and what has he meant to you guys in the short time he's been with you?
First, he do pay us the money, and then so we got to listen to him. And we all trust him because he's like a player coach. and then he want nothing but the best for us, and he just he coaches hard. He talked to us other than basketball. He's just always there and just want us to win.
Okay, so that answer, obviously awesome. Just like every time you've been on a microphone, it seems like you give great quotes. But I think it's a great sense of where you guys are at nowadays in college ball. You spoke basically like, hey, he's like the guy paying us. We are working for him. Is that the mindset that you've had? And do you think whenever you go to Florida for high school, does that kind of like prepare you to be, I don't want to say a professional, but a professional whenever it comes to all of this, including a lot of money, a lot of spotlight, a lot of possibility, a lot of potential distractions as well. Have you felt like more mature than maybe most people your age because of the experiences?
Yes, because I went to Mount Vera for 3 years by myself, and obviously with my team. But like I had to start washing my clothes by myself. Had to start kind of cooking by myself. I had to do a lot of stuff by myself. So that just really opened my mind up and ready me and got me ready for college. And then Coach Willard, like I said, like he understands me because he understands my personality and stuff like that. That was a joke, but it's like also being for real. But Coach Willard, he understands me because I like to joke around. I like to show my personality, and he's always there. Like he always like laugh with me. He makes jokes too. And I think I also bring out like the happy or the funniness out of him too.
Hell yeah, great relationship. Nice tag team for Maryland currently. Having a 6'10" point guard forward would be that make me happy if I was coach. But also got to coach your ass too. You know, you're still young. A lot of things to happen. D-Butt has a question for you, Derik.
Yeah, Derik, you talked about being in high school and that stacked roster, the whole squad. I want to know what those ones were like after practice, what that competitiveness was like, and how hard was it? I know you said this was a dream you had. How hard was it to when it came to push came to shove to choose Maryland over all the other top programs in the country?
So at practice every day, like it was competitive, a lot of drills, even in sprints, like everybody wanted to win sprints. And then like 5-on-5, like here, Coach Boyle switched the teams up, and it'd be like different players. It was six seniors, so he'd try to split 3-and-3 or sometimes 4-and-2 and put us with the younger guys. But we always competed every day because we always wanted to win. Of course, bragging rights. Mess with each other in the locker room, and then come back to Maryland. I came on an unofficial visit a day after my birthday, and then I think they played Coppin State, and I was like, this is where I wanted to be. And then I waited until like February, I think 21st to commit, but I always knew like for 2 months that I always wanted to come back to Maryland.
Hell yeah. Hometown kid coming back doing his thing. Jimmy's, you ever have any Jimmy's famous seafood, crab cakes or anything?
Yes, I actually have a meal with them.
You have a meal, like a Derik Queen meal?
Yeah, it's like a to-go. It's like a meal prep.
Oh shit! Genius.
Jimmy's, these guys.
This guy's a pro.
These guys are the greatest. So you're having crab cakes every day of your. This guy's life. I'll go back to Maryland for that as well. Ty has a question for you.
Yeah, Derik. Obviously, being Big Ten Freshman of the Year and first team All Big Ten, like you're one of the dudes. But how important has it been leaning on the upperclassmen throughout the season? Just kind of helping you kind of go throughout your first full season of college basketball.
So, like at the beginning of the season and even the beginning of Big Ten play, like I had my struggles, and then like it wasn't really me leaning to them because I'm still the youngest on the team. Even though I got first team and Big Ten freshman, like they just want me to succeed, and they just want obviously they want what's best for the team, and they always push me and they help me grow and mature too by walking me through things, giving me the steps. Talking me through college, and then just always been there and like being big brothers to me.
How come they said you traveled on that?
I don't know. Like I just don't understand how they how I travel. I just took regular 2 steps.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the refs saw the same thing we're seeing as well.
Ridiculous.
People will find anything and complain about it.
That's right.
Yeah, they don't know ball. They don't know ball.
They don't know ball.
They have no idea. And you know what? You got a problem? Why don't you go one-on-one with Derik? And we'll just we'll let ball decide. Tone has a question for you.
Yeah, Derik, the long sleeve look is awesome. I love it. It's very, 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 very swaggy. It
is very swaggy.
Have you always done that, or when did you start doing it?
No, I started doing it this year again, but I always wore it like occasionally when I had like baggy long sleeves. But when I was on a UA circuit and when I went to Mount Verde, like they always had like compression tight, and then I didn't really want to wear those. And then Maryland, they gave me like a baggy one.
Yeah,
and then I just been wearing it ever since.
Yeah, they gave you a 7X baggy. So you're 6'10", is that accurate?
Yes.
How heavy?
Like 250, 245.
And you're 18 or 19? How old are you?
I'm 20.
20 years old? Wait a minute.
Yeah.
So Montverde, you were there for 3 years? You were there for 3 years, and then you come to Maryland. So you're still 20 years old. I should have done more research. That is 100% on me. But you're still going to get even, I mean, you see your body still kind of transforming and shaping into what it's going to be?
Yes, because my strength coach, he always showed me pictures, and he be calling me honey buns and like Reese cup. So I gotta go through that every day, and he just showed me pictures often.
All right. Well, hey, don't be fat, because you could be something amazing for sports. And your mentality, your humility, your personality, and your ability are all things that are going to make us want to watch forever. So thank you for the time, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Okay, so standard 2 steps there. That was standard 2 steps.
Mm-hmm.
Regular 2 steps, standard.
Ready for the NBA.
Absolutely.
Right. NBA ready.
You can go show some love to I'm from Baltimore, that's why. If you go to md.nil.store, this is currently available. I assume there's going to be more quote T-shirts coming out of Derik Queen. Your brain is an awesome one, brother. We can't wait to watch you. Ladies and gentlemen, Derik Queen. Thank you, man. Thank you. 20 years old. Jesus Christ. Should have got that one right. What's that all about?
I mean, at least prep schools now.
Yeah,
it's like you can graduate from high school and they still, you do like a postgraduate year, and it's crazy.
20 years, and also they're probably paying them in high school too. I mean, the amount of money you're probably making in the entirety. Go ahead.
Yeah, like what Cal was saying, but that's like the opposite of the reclassify. Like Cooper Phi goes down, some guys go, the opposite way, go up and kind of do the entire
That's old
thing.
school, football dads.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, my kid back. He's going to be a 20-year-old senior.
5 years of high school is casual, man. A lot of people do it.
Yeah, okay. Up in the New England area, I heard.
That's a common thing, okay, man?
Yeah, that's what I heard. My family's trying to get me in school as early as possible. Would have been cool to be the older guy in the class instead of the younger guy in the class.
It was very cool, especially in college. You turned 21 before everybody else.
He's 20 years old, 6'10", having this moment that he's having right now. I can't wait for him to be on the Pacers. He's going to be a great Indiana Pacer.
I don't know about that.
He had Hoosiers in his, Final Four basketball team.
Really?
I know he chose Maryland, but I believe the Hoosiers were on this.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he doesn't want to come to Indiana anymore because a lot of people in Indiana were saying, hey, best thing that's ever happened was Derik Queen not coming.
Well, that was...
I believe that.
That's what I saw.
That was double D. Hey, you're going to take lost shots out there. Mm-hmm. He's happy with DeVries, as he should be. McCollum's already drafted or recruiting for Iowa. West Virginia still doesn't have a head coach, but on the other side, we'll have Dick Vitale. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life.
All roads leading to Eugene, and I can't help but say, hey, 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 hey. You make me wanna jump, put my hands up and pick my heels up and all again now. A little bit something now, 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 a little bit louder 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 now, a little bit louder. Yeah, it's awesome. It's a great day in Oregon. We got a cannon. Oh, wait! We are! Thank you! I love this. Let me go ahead and cock that thing! Boom on! Hell yeah. Hell yeah, Roughnecks. We got engineers, we got doctors, we got economists. We got real tests that have real implications happening. And all of these sons of said, give me college game day. Instead of studying, I had some questions about coming out here to Berkeley, but after experiencing it, it is very evident that this is one of the best cities in this here United States of America. USA, 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 USA. And this represents everything that is great with this country, with our sport. It doesn't matter which way you view the world. It doesn't matter which part of the country you're from. College football runs through our soul. And that is what a celebration today is all about. I am thankful to be here amongst these nerds and future geniuses and future people that are going to run this place. It's an honor to be in Berkeley. It's foggy. I think there's some...
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey.
What?
Let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, you pig! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Are You Serious? Tuesday, March 25th, 2025. Hour 2 of the program starts now. Sports are happening all around us. We're lucky to talk about it. The talk show table is here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. Ty Schmidt, how you feeling?
Feeling pretty darn good. You know, you mentioned it there before the break. Ben McCollum's already just hitting the recruiting trail, hitting it hard, getting guys to transfer into Iowa, which they need because everyone on the roster pretty much transferred after they lost Fran McCaffrey. So we got to get going right now.
This man needs to shave his head.
I love it. I think he should let it recede even more and just leave like a little widow's peak there at the top.
Maybe Hulk Hogan it.
That's not a bad idea. He Hulk Hogan's it. We're in the Final Four next year.
Brother.
Yeah, well said.
Now, he has all the players from Drake transferring.
Pretty much.
Right to Iowa.
Good players.
Just like DeVries is getting all the players that he knows transferring to Indiana.
That's kind of how it works now.
Yeah, West Virginia doesn't even have a coach. So I'm sure Ren will figure it. Come on, Ren.
He's figuring it out. He's working on it.
Is he? Have you heard from him about it? Or
I sent him a good luck text. He said thank you. It was good. It was a good interaction. Now, do I think I could potentially help a little bit, if we have some questions and some things maybe, I think. But it's all good. Ren will get to the bottom of it. He's a basketball guy.
He was a basketball guy.
He's the one who hired DeVries.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody, bell of the ball. Remember, Ren Baker found him and got him to West Virginia before anywhere else.
He'll figure it out.
Not your NFL vet, Darius J. Butler's here.
Hey,
Your coach, who I'm a big fan of, is going to do a self-reflection time, maybe even ayahuasca. He didn't say that, but the answer he was giving me was like, wait, is this a reflect, a refresh, and a reset for Dan Hurley? Because I hope we don't get anybody new. I hope we get Dan Hurley even more next year.
I'm not buying it.
Rappaport wants it. You heard him.
Yeah, but they're cheaters. They're doing an investigation in UConn.
What are they investigating?
I don't know.
Threatening lives.
Don't make me ruin your life. All right,
I just saw breaking investigation.
I will. I'll ruin it.
I
The whole
just said
reputation.
investigation in UConn.
So I didn't see this till later. I got a DM from the guy that had the video, and he said, there's a lot more to the story. And I was like, this sounds fake. I'm not looking into this. Also, I'm getting on a plane to Scotland. So I didn't even
gotta go.
Just kept it moving.
Was there threats, D-Butt?
Well,
was there?
Allegedly.
The follow-up to the story, I guess, was that the Connecticut SID said, oh, that's cute. Delete it.
Now.
Delete it. I'm going to ruin your life.
Yeah.
Is that how it went?
Whoa.
Is this mob land happening up there?
Allegedly, but I respect it. We stand up for our coaches, and I want that same coach to come back. The evolution has been from Daniel to Danny to Dan, and we would like to remain Dan.
I do appreciate the SID coming out going, you're going to take that down.
No.
So that was his picture on the left, right? SID?
I think.
Okay.
Maybe we just call him Coach D now. Like, maybe he's going to become cool.
To be clear, old buddy, I'm being told, fan of the program. So we just found that out. Obviously, there is reason why we're like, kind of a cool move.
I think it's kind of awesome.
Cool move.
Basically our Big Dahn.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, but Big Dahn would have had that thing eliminated.
Yeah.
You know, so
You're right.
college-
He's learning.
There's levels to it all. I do appreciate his entire job is the brand and the image of the UConn Huskies basketball team, and having to work alongside Dan Hurley, who is not like the others. He does not operate like anybody else, and in the spotlight because they win. So he's having to put out a lot of fire. He's passionate. So what? Well, why did he tell the ref he's the best coach in the league and he better turn around and look him in the eyes? Because he is. Okay, next question. He's handling things like he's a press secretary at the White House with Dan Hurley and the way it all goes. So that video comes out and immediately he's like, we're back at it. You, Dahn, now.
The way he responded to it was awesome too, though. Like after that came out, he's like, yeah, some reporter's standing where he shouldn't be. There's no reason he should be there. And then this should be about Coach walking off with his seniors, arm in arm. Instead, this guy's doing it. And now we're all talking about, how pissed off Coach is. It's not right. It's not right. And I don't think it is right.
I do like he's like standing in a place definitely not supposed to be there.
No way. Didn't have credentials.
Trespassing. Okay, so anybody could just break into places they're not supposed to be, take their phone out, and all of a sudden it's journalism? Okay, I don't think so. Next question, moves on. I enjoyed it. I like the journalist just said, hey, yeah.
What was he doing standing there? He shouldn't be standing there.
He had great access. He might have went to the bathroom. There's I've been caught in those situations before. I think we all have, actually. Whenever we're at a stadium or an arena and the nearest bathroom from wherever we are is up one of the VOMs or up like a tunnel, and then you go and you come out and, oh, shit.
Everybody's coming.
The whole team.
I am not supposed to be here right now. So there might have been somebody that stopped him too as he was coming back from somewhere, not now, team's coming in. And then this is a pretty cool view. I didn't know I was going to be here. Gold.
Yeah. Always pissed off.
Gold. Wow. Gold. Send it.
Tunnel not sacred.
Yeah.
No, not anymore.
Nothing is.
Not anymore. There's not even locker room's not even sacred anymore.
Yeah.
That's real.
It's ridiculous. You get what, a 10, 15-minute cool down period before he's supposed to be in front of cameras? As a journalist, he needs to face the music.
Okay. He's from UConn. Obviously, that is how he feels. For me, for the journalist, great get. Okay. And for UConn, love the response.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so now we move forward. I can't wait to see what Dan. I like Dan Hurley acting like that. Like I do, because that's who he is. And obviously his team responds. I don't love the immediate reaction whenever somebody doesn't act how everybody wants them to act at their position. It's just like, ooh, bad, we hate it. It's like, no, this is just how this could be as well. You've seen the same. This is how this could go at this position. Now, not saying everybody should be like that. Not everybody will be like that. But there are humans like that in sports and in competitive worlds. And it's just like with Sirianni. Like when Sirianni was talking his shit walking out of a stadium, I'm like, okay, that is not normal for a head coach. But Sirianni obviously has the boys rallying around him. And his job is to get the boys to rally and play their best and lead them to a dub. So if these people are winning, I don't think there is any grounds to be like, that ain't right. Now, if they're losing and acting like that, it's like clown show.
Yeah.
Get them the hell out
And
of
this is who basketball coaches have always been. The Jim Calhoun, Bobby Knight, a lot of the great ones, they're more so a part of the action, even more than football coach. Football, they got a lot to handle heads to them.
Richards.
These guys are right at the court, sometimes on the court. So Kim Mulkey and LSU, all these coaches, they have their different personalities, and they're a part of the game, and that's how they get their teams going. And sometimes it boils over to, right after the game when tensions and emotions are high.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, one half of the Hammer
Dahn
Cowboys AP Tone. What trends for March Madness thus far as we look ahead to the Sweet 16 and as we look ahead to our conversation with Dick Vitale?
So obviously the money line for the underdogs hasn't been great. Our good friend Boston Connor bets on the money line for all the underdogs in that. What was it, 14 and whatever it was?
Yeah, it was bad. It was 13 and 44 money lines for underdogs, including the play-in game. So don't do that.
But as far as against the spread goes, 28 and 24 were the favorites against the spread. So I mean that's pretty average, about 500 for that. And then the under was 28 and 24 as well against the number there. So as far as like the underdogs winning, not so much, but the underdogs 28 and 24 were the favorites against the spread, and then 28 and 24 to the under as well.
The balls are too inflated. You hear about this?
I did hear about it yesterday. I thought it was a joke. That's real shit. Like
the players are saying,
yeah,
that this feels like this is an issue.
It does suck. It sucks when the ball is like dribbling, like obviously bouncing out of the room. That does suck. I didn't know that was a real thing though.
Yeah, they're saying it was a real thing. Now let's go to the NFL and talk about something that's very real. TomBrady.com, the 199 newsletter.
Yep,
of course. He's a writer now. He has 7 total posts. Okay. The 7th one being the most notable publicly because he said there was a natural tension after 20 years together with Bill Belichick and the way the Patriots were looking to go and the way they were kind of going. So this kind of is just a little bit more of a stamp of, yeah, there was some stuff that was happening maybe behind the scenes. 20 years, 2 alphas, 2 of the GOATs working alongside of each other. That's a long relationship.
Yeah.
People live with their parents, before they go to school or before they leave for 18 years. Think about the relationship with your parents. Think about how that could potentially go with your siblings for that long. 20 years becoming the greatest of all time next to each other. There could be some differing of opinion. There could be some differing of what the future looks like. Bill Belichick has to look out for the Patriots. Tom Brady's got to look out for the Patriots and also Tom Brady. And then obviously you got Kraft in there trying to navigate the waters. He said the last few years, so that would have been 3 years. They had success during that time together as well, which is also a wonderful part of this entire story.
Oh, yeah, big time. They won the Super Bowl in 2018 with the 13-3 victory, which was an exhilarating game against the Rams and McVay's first Super Bowl. But I mean, when you think about just the team construction as well, like you talk about how sometimes, the offense and the defense are damn near 2 separate teams at points. And you can think with Mahomes and Andy Reid, like, hey, both offensive guys, obviously the credit goes to, the offense a lot of the time. Like with the New England dynasty, because it was so much Brady on one side with, whoever was the OC and then Bill and the defense on the other, you can see where just even credit getting, given to certain sides of the ball. Because early on, it was Bill, because Brady wasn't, the guy.
199.
Like 199, those first 3 Super Bowls, the dynasty, you think about like Brewski and Richard Seymour and Vrabel, obviously, in those kind of teams wasn't so much about Brady. Brady was kind of almost in the Purdy situation. And then towards the end, it became much more Tom Brady. Bill can't do it without Tom. Brady's the reason they're winning all those games. So the natural tension does make sense, and the Jimmy G drafting a lot of people point to. But the fact that they were still able to, win, and who knows when it started, because 16 they won the Super Bowl as well. 17 they went to the Super Bowl, lost against the Eagles and the Nick Foles Philly play, and then the Rams Super Bowl they still won. So sure, there might have been tension.
Yeah, there's tension. Yeah,
there's tension.
3 straight Super Bowls. We're going to win 2 of them in the entirety of it. Obviously, you're in that building with both of them as a second-round pick for the New England Patriots. What is your thoughts on it? Natural tension, I think, was Tom saying.
Normal.
Yes. There's going to be that's going to exist, let alone being together for 20 years.
I mean, it's normal. Anytime something like this comes from the greatest player in the game, obviously it's going to be a big deal, especially on March 25th. But I can't think of any great player that stayed into a place anywhere near 20 years that didn't have some type of natural tension. And you talk about Bill, he wore both hats as far as the GM and the head coach. So
and Tom always gave a team-friendly deal.
Literally any player that I could think, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, LeBron, Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, at some point in their career, there was some bumps. Aaron Rodgers, there's been some bumps in the road with other people.
Wayne got traded, right? Wayne was
everybody. If you stay, like you said, you mentioned it, it's a marriage, it's a long-term relationship. You're going to have some ups and downs. You're going to have some natural tension. So I don't think it's a big deal. And kind of just mentioned, like they were winning. So if this was the opposite way and they were losing, they were at the bottom of the barrel, it'd be a different ball game. But I don't think this is a big deal. But I can't wait for the next 199 left.
Yeah, 8 is coming around the corner.
Well, in a lot of those instances with those other guys, like the player always wins out because like very seldom is it like a guy plays with the same coach for 20 years. Like, how many coaches did Kobe have? You know, even MJ went through like a couple different guys. Like, Brady is really like the only one where it's like it was him and Belichick pretty much the entire time. And I don't think that will ever happen again.
Yeah, different relationship whenever you're 22 versus whenever you're 35.
Yeah.
36, 37. And I do appreciate, I think we all do, that he's come out and been like, yeah, because they both all been like, we love each other, which you will, by the way, once you kind of separate, you know, the heart grows fonder, if you will. And then you look back and it's like a lot of great things were accomplished. But in the moment, there was probably a lot of gripes from both of them about how things were going. And then obviously you get away, you say all the good stuff. But this is the first time where we've really heard him say like, yeah, there was some shit. It's like, we all expected it. We all knew that that was reality. And now we know from the 199 newsletter, he's a blogger now?
I guess so.
Yeah.
Added to the resume.
Love that.
You can do it all.
Just see him.
He might be doing it on a typewriter.
Yeah, definitely.
Jammed.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Ah, shit, that was supposed to be
It's actually
E,
probably
not
a
an
better
A.
chance he's Neuralinking it.
Ooh, straight from brain to paper? I mean, there is a chance. I had no idea this existed until this one. This is the 7th one. Writing takes a long time. I'm not even going to get into it.
What's that?
I told you guys a couple weeks ago I learned about the...
Talk to text.
That's crazy.
Game changer.
Really smart phone. Other things, it's getting dumber, which needs to be talked about, you know, with Timmy Apple. Like, something's going on here where my smartphone's getting dumber. Don't think that should be how this whole thing goes. But for that whole thing, I mean, that makes life a lot easier.
You have the new update? Or the new phone?
I have the newest phone. I haven't done the whole song and dance.
It's good. I gotta turn off some settings. I'm tired of Apple Intelligence summarizing my text
emails.
messages. Emails.
The whole thing.
Play around on the playground yet?
What's that?
The playground?
I haven't. No.
Get on the playground. Have some fun out there.
What?
What's
the hell are you talking about?
There's a playground app. It's an AI picture app. It's fun. It's a good time.
Oh, so they're Grok.
So they have a Grok?
I don't know. What?
Chat GPT?
I've never used
Grok. Actually pretty talented.
No, I tried Grok.
Grok is pretty talented. Well,
no, this iteration. We're on like Grok 3.
Yeah.
And he's amazing.
And it always says beta next to it. It is Grok 3.0 beta. So that means they're testing Grok 3.0?
Correct.
Well, they did that to Grok 2.0 the entire so then we got to 3.0, we're still testing.
Always getting better.
Are we ever going to not be in the beta stage of Grok or any of these
Maybe
AIs?
Grok may be just the beta stage in general, and then they might change it to like Brock or something. And
Alpha.
Then, Alpha, exactly. And then that's just the new AI.
I just don't agree with Grok. Like, I'm a big green guy, but I hate Tesla.
You sound pretty red right now.
Okay.
I'm a big AI guy, but I hate Grok. So.
Okay, all right. You love news, but...
Yeah, I hate Twitter. Yeah,
it is. Yeah, it's a wild thing.
That's what happens when you only listen to OAN. You know?
Last story. The world right now is in a wild spot.
Yeah.
There are some people that... I mean, you're talking about just way... and have never heard the other side, I don't think.
That's why those people should just watch sports.
Bingo. Like, come to our world.
Yeah, legit.
Come to where we live.
Watch the games on Thursday and Friday. Might change your fucking life.
What do these people do that don't watch sports? I'm learning now. It's like, oh, they're just...
Yeah. This is it.
They're cementing themselves into more of, I'm a better person than you are.
Yeah.
And I appreciate their passion. Okay? Everybody's saving the world, it seems like. Everybody has the right idea for how the world needs to be and how it, and I respect it. And everybody, you know who I'm talking about. And it's like, I appreciate your passion, but boy, don't get lost in there. Come on in to watch some sports.
Yeah.
Watch some sports.
Dive into a conspiracy. Look into the pyramid.
No, there's a lot of those. What we're saying is come over to the sports. Those things all kind of get into the entire, what is going on?
Holy shit. We got to talk about that yesterday all
Ladies
day.
and gentlemen, joining us now.
Need to wait.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, joining us now. When we talk about sports, we talk about come enjoy sports, come enjoy competitions, come enjoy moments that are magical, that can only be created from a moment having to change the course of not only people, but entire schools. A guy who has voiced over a lot of those moments of our childhood, and not only ours, potentially your parents' childhood as well. 41 years he's been working at ESPN. Baby, ladies and gentlemen, the voice of college basketball. He's in pro and college basketball halls of fame, Dick Vitale.
Yay!
How you doing, Dick?
Well, I'll tell you one thing, Pat. 45 years I've completed at ESPN. 45, okay?
Okay.
I am honored. I finally got a call from Pat McAfee to be on his unbelievable show, man. That's incredible.
Dickie, we would have had you on day one if we knew this was even possible. The fact that you have blessed us with your presence, especially during March Madness, we are grateful for, especially with everything you've been through over the last few years. You're inspirational. You're a badass. And we appreciate the hell out of your commitment to sport for all of our entertainment for over the better half of 5 decades.
You guys there. I'm talking to all you football, unbelievable fanatics, football guys talking basketball. I think it hurts you guys talking hoops. No. I think you'd rather talk football.
Whoa. No, that is valid. Yes, that is certainly true. But there are times where basketball takes over the zeitgeist, and this is certainly one of them. We just talked to Cal. Obviously, Arkansas is like the underdog Cinderella story this year. Calipari is the team that everybody's pulling for to go on a run with all the high-ranking teams surviving. What is your takeaway on this year's March Madness, Dickie V? How should we be viewing this?
You know, Pat, it's Chalk City. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I mean, 13 of the teams there. I've been to the Final Four. You have 8 of them that have already won national titles. So it's all Chalk City, and it's all due. You know why? The NIL, man. The schools that are paying big-time cash. It's all about that, and we got chaos going on. I'll share this with you, Pat, you and your guys. They just opened up the transfer portal, which I think is a joke. I think it's absurd to have the transfer portal during the heart of March Madness. I think that's crazy. It's ludicrous. You ready for this? Only one day, about 1,000 kids are in the portal. 1,000. Yeah. It is total wacky what's going on. Because the question is, right away, the question is very simple. When the kids talk to some coach about transfer, what about my cash, man? How much am I getting? Yeah. Did you ever think you'd see this path going on? It's a better free agency than the pros have, because in this case, you're free. At least in the pros, you got a contract. Yeah. I think they got to think about a contract. I think they think about, the kids deserve money. I have no problem with that. But the bottom line is this chaotic movement, no stability.
Yeah, it's happening in football too, Diggy V. Obviously, we're seeing that. They had a transfer portal in the middle of the playoffs, transfer window in the middle of the playoffs as well. And there was actually players that were in the playoff, 12-team playoff. This is what you work for. There was players in the playoff that were like, I'm leaving. It's like, how is this what's right? I think they're going to figure that out, though. How much of the chatter has been done for college hoops? Like college football, obviously, we live in that all fall. We got a ruling coming this month or whatever on what the future is going to look like for rev share. We did a lot of that with football talk. How much of that's happening in college basketball, you think? And is there guardrails on the horizon for how it's all run?
Well, I just tell you this, Pat. I just think that there's so much chaos. It's the Wild West in intercollegiate sports. It really is. And I just think that somewhere there's no rules and regulations. There's none. Zero. Do what you want. Do anything you want. And the big schools, I'll tell you what else is happening. You don't see any Cinderellas. You're not going to see many Cinderellas anymore, because it's all the schools that can pay the big dollars. The SEC has 7 teams in the Final Four. Why? Because the SEC has gotten with the times. The ACC hasn't gotten with the times. So they got one team, Duke. Duke gets it. Duke has the dollars. They have the unbelievable talent level. But I'm telling you, Pat, something's got to be done, because you hate to see the little guy rubbed out. The other problem with it, with the transfer portal, if you're a good player, I'm going to make Pat McAfee dream he's a jump shooter, dream he's an incredible player, and you're at some mid-American school. You're at Miami. Handle that rock, man. Good left hand. I like that left hand. He dives up. Don't look at the ball. Don't look at the ball.
Head up.
What are you talking about?
And you're at a mid-American school. What? And all of a sudden, you're playing really well. You know what happens? You're gone, just like a little brick right there, but you're gone.
There's an air ball, Dickie, even worse.
You're absolutely gone to another school. So they're taking all the stars away that develop from the mid-American schools, from the actual the mid-major schools.
Yeah, so that's going to take away. You just got to hope that a team is able to build, and everybody stay true. And hopefully the madness will remain in the March tournament, because Calipari being the underdog Cinderella story is certainly something out there at Arkansas. But they're one of those SEC teams you talked about. Greg Sankey came on the show and was like, hey, we told the schools our men's basketball has to get better. So they did a concerted effort to invest in it. And to your point, it has worked for them. Well, everybody else, we shall see. D-Bud has a question for you, Dickie.
Yes, sir. Dickie V, first of all, absolute honor. I'm a UConn Husky. You've called some of our biggest games, some of our national championships, so an honor. But you being on the air for so long and being iconic on the mic, I want to know, how did some of these your most iconic sayings come about? Were they practiced in the mirror the night before? Or they just come out live, PTP or Diaper Dandy? Like, when did these come about? How did they come about?
You know what, really? I steal a lot of it, man. I steal from people. People write me little notes, letters, suggestions. I use them. I get credit. Now, to be serious, it's just, I always, when I started on the TV, I make believe I'm talking to my buddies at home. And I just talk from my heart. You guys do that. You talk from your heart. That's why you connect so well with everybody. Because you're regular. You're down there shooting the breeze. I've never looked at the red light where the red light has intimidated me. And I've always had fun doing it. The only thing that's intimidated me is having 5 major vocal cord cancer surgeries and all that stuff. Man, I'd like to get a little help here. I'm trying to raise money for kids battling cancer, Pat. It means so much to me, especially after what I went through. I want you to know this is the first live interview I've done in 3 years. Doctors have put me on unbelievable voice rest. Like I said, I had 5 major vocal cord surgeries, and I'm just honored and thrilled and always moved to tears that I'm even talking, because about a year ago, I went I think it was 8 weeks. I couldn't talk, not one word, write everything down. And so I made that recovery. But going through what I went through, I can't imagine a mom and dad with little kids going through what I'm 85 years old, man. I got the energy of a 20-year-old, but I'm 85. And I'll tell you this, Pat, no child should ever go through what I did in terms of the scans, the blood work, constant, always to the doctor's office, doing chemo 6 months. I did radiation, 65 treatments. No child should do that. So my goal is to raise money through the V Foundation for kids battling cancer. So far, Pat, I'm so proud of this. Probably in my whole career, I'm in, I don't know, multiple Hall of Fames and all that jazz. But my real, the heart of me is so excited about to tell you this. We have raised my gala $92.8 million.
Let's go. Wow. Let's go.
And this year, we're going to go over the 100 million mark, because we're honoring people like Mike Strahan, we're honoring people like Grant Hill, and all these stars, and with Calipari, and we have a great event. There it is right there. We have a great event. It's held down in Sarasota, the Ritz-Carlton. Anybody wants information, they call 941-350-0580. But the best thing they can do is donate. Donate at Dick. All you got to do is go to DickVitale.com. It's as simple as can be. DickVitale.com. You can donate. It goes to the V Foundation, and you might save someone you love. I get passionate about this because I've been, Pat, I spoke at several funerals for kids, and it just tears my heart out.
Yeah.
Tears my heart out.
Yeah, and it's not just the kids. Obviously, it's the entire family, the anxiety alongside all of the appointments. We're honored that this is the first interview you've done in 3 years and thankful for it, and also inspired by your mission. I will obviously donate and help out with the gala. We will continue to promote your mission to helping out families of kids battling through cancer. And let's talk about the vocal cord surgery. So they told you no talking. So I've thought about this before as somebody who is a professional speaker. I'll lose my voice at the end of like football season. I'll go through it. I won't have my voice. I won't know. Like, that's my biggest fear whenever we're on a microphone, is that I'll have something and I have no idea if it's gonna make any sound. I have no idea if my voice is gonna be able to create it. Because I'm hoarse, I've been yelling, and I'm a very loud person to begin with. But for you, I assume you've gone through times of going hoarse and losing your voice. When you're told you can't speak as a professional orator, I mean, what is the initial reaction? And that had to be, mentally, that had to be very difficult.
You know what, Pat? I was telling my friend the other day, I go do a game, like I recently did 7 games, and I was so glad to do them. It was like the best medicine in the world. But it's so difficult when you go in to do a game and you're in my position because of my vocal cord problems. Instead of thinking about the strategy of the games and all, I'm thinking about what happens if my voice breaks down right now during the middle of the game. And I shouldn't be thinking like that, but the bottom line is that's what you live with. And the strategy I could do in my sleep. Talking basketball, people write, oh, my God, he hasn't missed a beat. Well, just like you talking football or whatever, I could talk that basketball in my sleep. And to say this before I wrap up here, my Final Four are still alive. Michigan State and Florida, I'm looking at a board here in my house. Michigan State, Florida, South and West in one semifinal, Duke and Houston in the other. When it's all said and done, Duke and Florida. And when it's said to cut the nets down, and they're going to scream and yell, I get this all the time, and I laugh about it. I was like, Dookie Vitale, not Dickie Vitale. He loves Duke. Well, what's there not to like about him? This, Pat, think about why they're good. They're the only team in the nation, the only team that is in a situation where there's a draw, the only team that is in a situation where they're top 5 in the nation offensively and defensively efficiency. Well, when you excel in both those areas, you got a chance to win. And then they got the best player in the land. And no doubt about it. I mean, Flagson and Proctor's been on fire. That's Proctor shooting a jumper. He's been on fire. But the kid, when you talk about certainly Flag, he is so special. He makes those things happen because his presence on the floor creates spacing for guys like Proctor to get free, to shoot the three. So he's one of those guys. It's like, I guess in football you have them as well. But he's one of those guys, his presence makes everybody better.
Oh, yes, absolutely. And also, I think he reclassified. He's supposed to be a senior in high school. He's special talent. And that coach down there, I'm learning more about White Mike over there in Chicago and his basketball playing career. Feels like they got it right, just like the basketball gods did whenever they blessed us with you for the better half of the last 5 decades. We appreciate the hell out of you, Dickie.
Well, I'll tell you this. I'm hurt for one thing, though. The best linebacker in the history of Ohio State football is not on the show, AJ. Where's AJ?
He's on spring break. He's got another spring break. Yeah, Ohio. That's what we're learning.
Hey, AJ, did I say it right? You're the best linebacker in football. You told me to say it.
Yeah. Classic. All right, we appreciate the hell out of you. Ladies and gentlemen.
I'll tell you what. Pat, I need a lesson from you how you connect, man. You obviously connect, and that connection you made. I'll tell you what, I would love to have my cash register go ding-a-ling-ding. Like
you know it, baby! You're the man. Ladies and gentlemen, Dickie Vitale. Thank you. Dickie V! What a legend.
That's awesome. The GOAT.
Yeah, we put in a request for him a few weeks ago, and we got this big, long response that was like, want to come on the show, love you guys, love everything about your program, but strict doctor's orders, not allowed to talk right now. And we're like, damn, didn't know it was like that. And then we learned more and more. It's like he's on like right there. We probably took too many of the things throughout the entire process. But imagine being Dickie Vitale.
Yeah.
Like speaker, loudspeaker, animated speaker, and then being told can't. Yeah, like think about it, gatherings. Yeah,
Yeah,
him
he
just
loves to
holding court on
shoot the breeze. He said like he loves doing that.
Just talk with the guys, you know, and do the entire thing, and then they're like, yeah, by the way, not only are you going to have to battle cancer here and very serious and go through all these treatments, you're not going to be allowed to speak like that. Mentally, that would be a wild thing, but obviously Dickie Vitale has done exactly what he's always done with everything, which is just commit fully and $92.9 million raised.
Crazy.
That's crazy, yeah.
That's unbelievable.
Awesome.
That is absolutely unbelievable.
Legend.
Baby, are you serious? How about him saying, I jack other people's shit. They will, they'll write me letters and they'll have stuff in there. Ooh, I like that.
That's good. I'm going to use that.
But on a serious note, and then it kind of drops into the other stuff. Shout out to him. And if you can help raise money, I assume this would be a fantastic place to do it. I mean, $100 million, that's a great legacy to have. Shout out to him and shout out to the V Foundation continuing to raise some money. Let's talk a little bit about NFL hoops. Oh, we should say in college hoops. Juju.
Yeah.
That was tough.
That's like her and Paige are the two, the two that are carrying women's college hoops right now. And obviously we saw the clips from this past weekend where she was chatting with Jaden Daniels and Jaden Daniels' mom throughout certain times. I think Jaden Daniels, I don't know. I was following on the internet and then I watched it. Then I checked back in later. I thought Jaden Daniels' mom was in between them to start. Then she left, and they were sitting next to each other. It was being reported, and once again, I do not know. I do not know which one is real because, timing of it all. But there's a chance, she actually go up and left.
Yeah.
And then Jaden and Juju sat next to her. Somebody would have to correct us on that whole thing. But you're talking about this a power duo here.
Yeah.
Just sharing secrets. Just sharing secrets about competing and life in the spotlight. And there's Jaden Davis' mom. We saw her whenever we were at Radio Row at the Super Bowl. I think she said she would come on show and tell us the real.
Yep, she did.
So we were sending a request in.
Need that.
For Jaden Daniels' mom. But Juju, one of the superstars of women's college hoops, tears her ACL. That is absolutely devastating. That sucks.
Yeah, that sucks. So she's she's probably the face right now of women's college basketball. Her, along with Paige has suffered some devastating injuries as well while at UConn, because she was kind of at the top of that level as well. But Juju, she's awesome. Unbelievable business she's doing off the court as well. I know on the court, on pace to score the most points in women's college basketball history. I think she broke Caitlin's 2-year mark. So she was definitely
she's only a sophomore.
Yeah, so she cooks, and her game is nasty and aesthetically pleasing as well. So hopefully she gets a quick, strong recovery, man, because she's awesome to watch play basketball.
Godspeed to Juju, and also I guess West Virginia women's basketball team got hosed down in North Carolina.
I'll tell you what, they gave the Tar Heels everything they could handle.
Yeah, but I heard the refs were playing for Bubba's team.
Oh, UNC keeps.
You don't say.
Again?
That's what I read. That's what I read.
What was the score? The close?
It's like 67.
North
56.
Carolina won because the refs wanted them to.
About 11, I think. It wasn't that close.
Yeah, well, of course. How many refs are on the court? 3? 2?
3?
3.
The foul discrepancies.
Playing 8-on-5. You gotta be kidding me. What, 8 North Carolina?
Is West Virginia taking it to the
Sweet 16? Was that Sweet 16?
Round of 32.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's close for women's college basketball. Round of 32. That's close.
Yeah, 58-47. Bro.
You go look at some of those scores.
58-47.
Yeah. It's a barn burner.
There was a double overtime game last night, Maryland and Bama. I was watching.
Yeah, now that's a barn burner. And I saw one of the girls for
45.
Bama, dropped 45 points. Getting buckets.
And they lost.
Yeah, that was a high-scoring game.
Bet on everything women's college hoops as well?
Yeah, the spreads are tough the first couple rounds.
Yeah.
I believe Texas in the first game was minus 48.5.
How do we feel? Okay, which is tough. That's tough.
What did you win by 60?
What's your problem?
Yeah.
What's your problem?
That's what I'm saying. Like, these games, trust me,
There's
been
a
at
chance.
UConn for 4 years. Like, you knew the first couple rounds. Like, yeah, all right.
Like USC won 71-25 in the first game.
And then, obviously, West Virginia keeps it close alongside UNC, and the refs, obviously, doing their thing. I asked about the gambling because I've seen the commercials. We've all seen the commercials.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
About the college player prop bets. I feel like that's a big push. I think Charlie Baker, who's president of the NCAA, he was in here, and I think he said that's something that he's really trying to get behind. The college player props are obviously problematic for like professional athletes, but they're professional athletes. For the college kids, they're professional athletes too, or they're not professional athletes. It's an interesting world that we're in right now, because do we view college athletes as professional athletes, or do we still view them as college kids? And I think we should still view them as college-age kids, because they're 18, 19, 20 years old. Obviously, you're still figuring out who the hell you are as a person then, can still go through things, still feel things, especially nowadays with the social media world. But I guess the prop bets are the ones that really get people the most animated about it. The team will win, but old buddy did not have 10 rebounds. Old buddy did not have 17 and a half points. So he has 17, didn't have 18 to beat 17 and a half. Maybe he even has a triple-double. Has 17, goes for 10, and then let's say 11 boards or something like that. And he'll get terrible things said because he didn't go over on his points. Obviously, this is something that is going to happen in professional sports, but I think the college world, they're really trying to get rid of those. I think they are really, really, really trying to get rid of that.
Yeah, not even every state has the prop bets for college. Like I know in Ohio, you can't bet props for college games. Indiana, I think you can. So I assume those commercials we were seeing too were specific to Indiana.
Like lobbying.
Yeah, bingo.
Well, for a while when you were here, you couldn't even bet on Purdue or Indiana.
Right. I think it's still that way.
I saw it in Connecticut too.
Yeah, I think the states are still like that.
Yeah.
I think like Illinois, you can't.
Jersey.
Yeah, Jersey, you can't bet on a few. The prop bets themselves, though, they're thinking about kind of getting rid of.
I don't think there's a need for the prop bets in college. Like there's enough options.
I agree.
Well, I mean, not only
this guy hosts a show called Hammer
Dahn,
which is a daily sports gambling show, and let's go to the other half of the Hammer Dahn Cowboys. Bubba Gumpino. Gumpy, how many player props are you doing in college ball?
I don't do player props, just bet the games.
Okay, are you saying that just because you have no idea what's going to happen each night?
Yeah, I'd just rather ride and die with the team. I'm not a big player prop guy myself. I don't know many people that are really diving into the college props that much.
So I assume it's other college kids. It's probably college-age kids probably doing it, getting into gambling. Their first couple of years of gambling. They know, they've seen, we understand a little bit more. And obviously, if you think you have it figured out, that is going to be what you gamble on. And the player prop bets, it's easy to. There's some bets that seem like pretty easy, especially if you know a team. But it does feel like the other side of it is pretty heavy. And with how much they're pushing against it, feels like there is a big effort to kind of get rid of those prop bets. And I don't know what the reaction will be, but I assume everybody will be okay with it.
Not that we've seen much of it in the recent, the last, really since it got super popular, but not only kids getting a lot of shit on Twitter, but I assume they're also thinking this is much more susceptible for games getting fixed and stuff like that, because we just saw it in the NBA with that Jonte Porter, I think that was his name. If that starts creeping into college basketball, even in the slightest, where it's 4.5 rebounds or points or something like that, you could see, like you were saying, a college kid who maybe isn't getting as much NIL money as he thinks he should be getting, that would be a very easy way to be oh, okay, I'm supposed to score, my over-under is 14.5 tonight, I can score 12, and just...
I can produce on defense side.
Exactly.
I still have a good game, but not too good of a game. And we're not saying most athletes are thinking that, but all you need is one or two, and then obviously everything goes down.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with the push. I think that'll be something that'll probably get passed in most places, I think.
I agree.
I think so. What's his name last week? Tonight,
John Oliver.
John Oliver ran a clip of Tyrese Halliburton talking about the player props on his show from our show, where Halliburton was like, "Yeah, I'll still get somebody telling me that I didn't do enough for them or whatever." It's like in pros,
won't be me. I love Halliburton's player prop lock. 9 assists locked.
He's what? I don't know how many games straight he's had where double,
He's
triple.
had 11 assists, 1 turnover, I think, last night.
He's unbelievable.
Yeah. He's amazing.
As hot as you can be.
He's got so much moxie, too.
He does have
and he's a good friend of the program.
He's talking a lot of shit against the Nets. It was awesome. I don't know if you saw that clip.
No.
Also, whoever does the trash talk leak is so good at it. I don't know how, but they can turn up the sound of the players and you can actually hear them talking shit. But he was talking to this guy that was kind of, I don't know if he was bad-mouthing Mathurin at the free throw line, Benedict Mathurin, but it was towards the end of the game. And Mathurin kind of went to give the guy on the Nets a handshake, just screwing with him. And then Tyrese and him went back and forth, and Tyrese got him real good. But again, whoever is doing these NBA mic'd up leaks, keep going, because they also did the Karl Anthony Towns and Draymond Green one, and that one was pure comedy.
So are they using the Dark Knight? When old buddy goes down in the basement and they have that entire board
with
the supercomputer, and they have all the sounds. They're like, we can do that. Is there some AI that's just taking everybody's cell phone and every camera that is in there and piecing together the audio? Because how are they turning it? Because I'll watch the videos, they'll have the audio somehow turned up. I'm like, where are they getting this microphone from? Are they just gathering all of the microphones and doing it? But you're right. We are getting clips of people talking that were definitely not on the live broadcast.
No.
And then somehow hearing them much clearer than you would think. And then all of a sudden I go is that fake? Is that fake or is that real? And then you got people saying, no, it's real.
In every different arena, to your point, how are they?
I don't know.
I think I want to say it's League Pass, because with the NBA League Pass, you can use so many different camera angles. You can click on specific ones. Typically, they don't go to commercial break, so you're just getting a legitimate look at the stadium camera, and sometimes that is
just a hard cam.
Yeah, hard cam. But sometimes even during timeouts, they're zoomed in on huddles, and you can kind of see stuff. But I also thought AI, of course, this is bullshit. But then when you watch Tyrese and them talking, it's no, this is exactly what they are saying to each other. It is so cool. But I think it's the League Pass.
The lip readers are also cool on the internet. I really appreciate them. Deaf people have been able to read lips for a while. On the internet, it's certified deaf lip reader here.
Yeah. I know this is what they're saying.
It's awesome.
It's incredible.
I always go right into it too. They have to.
Gospel.
They have to. And then I'm looking at the lips. I can see how that's I can see how that's being said.
It's like, it was like the entire thing last year with Harry Styles spitting on Chris Pine when he showed up at the, at the Oscars thing or the premiere of the movie or whatever.
28 years old, been lip reading for 27 of these years.
You can see it.
I know exactly what's being said here. Speaking about what's being said, Texas has their pro day today. Good luck to all the boys down there. We're in pro day season right now. For everybody except for anybody that's in the Big 12, I guess. What is that?
They got a combine.
I don't like that that's happening. But whatever the case, shout out to DJ and the boys for covering that. Quinn Ewers today is obviously a big story. Golden down there, Bond down there. A lot of superstars on this team. Speed is kind of the story of a Sark offense. Quinn Ewers can do a lot of good for himself today, Tone, or what is the conversation around this Texas Pro Day?
Yeah, Quinn's fascinating because of coming into this year after last year. I mean, he took the semifinals. He threw for 300 in basically every playoff game that he's basically ever been in. But coming into the season, he was like a bona fide guaranteed first round pick. And then, the report comes out that he played the season with the torn oblique after he got hurt, and he kind of dropped down some boards. But it'll be interesting because him throwing at these pro days is actually important because you saw the last season, and then how he threw this year was much different. So I think this one's big for him. Yeah, Golden ran the 4.29 at the combine. So I don't know if he's going to run. Bond ran a 4.39, but because he said he was going to break the record, people thought not a great time. So we'll see if he runs. And then Gunnar Helm, the tight end, who I don't know, almost snapped his ankle doing the 40 and then chose to run it, and then didn't have a great time in the drills and stuff like that because of his ankle. So yeah, there's a big pro day down in Texas.
Yeah, the corner too, one of the top corner. I think he was the top corner on DJ's board. I think he had him at 11. Barron, interested to see what he does. But I think this is a huge day for Quinn because of what you mentioned, playing through that injury. So I know a lot of people want to see really how much juice does he have on his arm and his throwing motion and how that'll look on pro day. So this will be a big day for him. This will be a moving day for Quinn, I think.
Sark is just going to create NFL guys down there.
Oh, yeah. Factory.
Dickie V just talked about the amount of money that some schools have and everything like that. They have like 3 different funds or something like that. That's why they were talking about it being hard to coach at Texas. They're like, it's not easy to coach at Texas because there's a lot of hands in the pot. Like there's a lot of chefs in the kitchen because a lot of people are giving money. A lot of people have ideas. There's a board of trustees. They chat about all the bad things that could potentially come with coaching at Texas. And it's always everybody else that has a piece of it. But if you're able to rally all those people and get on the same page, it's like you got a lot of access to a lot of different things. Coaching staffs as well. I think they're going to have like one of the largest coaching staffs in America. That's just becoming like a new thing. And then players, they're able to get whoever they want. Yeah. And if you get offered to Texas, like still holds value. Obviously, the name Texas and brand name of Texas is always going to be huge. But the way they take care of the facilities, the football, like everything about them is a team that if they have the proper backing, which they do, it's sustainable greatness for a long, long time. They're going to have a lot of NFL guys coming out of Texas.
Yeah, big time. And you mentioned it. As long as you can get the players, the top tier talent, and when we watch Ohio State go on their run, I feel like this was the only team that can kind of compete with them pound for pound. Obviously, Ohio State went on and beat them by a couple of scores, made some big plays down the stretch. But this team, from top to bottom, is that we saw it in the combine too. Obviously their tape is one thing, but then for them to go out there and put the numbers up that they did, I'm excited to see what the future holds with old Arch taking the helm as well.
Exactly. Like I believe it wasn't leaked officially, but people are already speculating that Jeremiah Smith, Ryan Williams, and Arch Manning are the cover of the next video game for the college football.
I saw they upped that money. They doubled it or whatever. They went to $1,000. $1,200.
Well, and the game made over $1 billion, so think what you want. But also,
but everybody was mad about Arch Manning not signing the deal or whatever. They're like, Arch Manning, the only player is that. It's like, you think the Manning family's like, yeah, you give us $500? I don't think so. Okay, a lot of people are going to be using old Arch Manning, even if he's backing up Quinn Ewers, because he is a dog.
Yeah.
Arch Manning is about to be a guy.
Yeah. He's on the game this year, right?
Yeah, he was on the game. Maybe it was just number 16. I don't know.
I think he did come to an agreement before.
Thought he was still in the game, but
anybody that was trying to make that look as a bad thing, I thought it was an awesome. I was on the complete opposite end of the spectrum. I'm like, hell yeah. EA Sports is about to learn quickly.
Yeah.
Like, you're not just fucking. Okay, $200,
$600.
Okay, I don't think we haven't worked our asses off for generations. Okay, for a $600, let's get in there. But Arch being a part of now everything they're building, that's an easy sell too. You got the money, you got all the resources, and also we got a quarterback named Arch Manning that you have seen literally grow up in front of your eyes. He's going to be a guy too, especially just waiting too. Like I had a source during the season.
Sure.
I don't think you can say Sis
okay.
with
No.
the way I said that sentence.
Uh-huh.
Reach out to me and say like, hey, we're okay with Arch, like, we're okay with this whole development thing. Like, we do not expect him to just be bum, 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 bum right in there. That was the decision they made going into Texas, knowing everything they were going to know. Then Quinn gets hurt. Arch goes in. That could have got real loud, especially with Arch winning and stuff like that. Now, he made some mistakes, obviously. They're picking apart. Like, well, he didn't do this well. It's like it's this guy's first fucking second game in this entire thing. Did well.
Yeah.
Then Quinn goes back in. Quinn has struggles later. Still nothing. Just like understand the process of it. And when he gets in there, he's going to be experienced. He's going to be comfortable. He's going to know the offense. And they're going to have dogs all around him, which goes back to the conversation we're talking about right now.
Well, in the entire thing of when he did go in, it wasn't as if like the guys didn't like him. Like we talked about with Will Howard, like he's doing dances with other guys. The linemen, after he's throwing touchdowns, are turning around and celebrating with him. Like clearly, he's also just a football guy, normal
one of the
dude.
boys,
one of the dudes. Yeah, exactly. So even that aspect of it, do you think having all the Mannings around will also be a massive benefit for Texas football, or what do you think?
Yeah, I think so. Obviously, I think it's good to have the Mannings around, especially whenever they do the Manning Academy.
Yes.
And the whole family's been doing that for however long down there in Louisiana. I think the biggest thing is the money gets you players, but what players does it get? Well, it gets the guys that run very fast 40s. Right, because they go to these Nike camps and they get these times. It's like all the big recruits that you're paying out of high school, at least, are guys that can jump high, run fast, and are projected to be incredible athletes. So whenever you think about NFL draft picks, it's always like the guys that are just like incredible. I think Texas is about to have a pipeline. The more we think about it here, with the resources that they have, with what they've already shown in the last couple of years, speed is what they're looking for. Sark offense is looking for that, feeding that. I think they're becoming a pipeline. You talk about the defensive side. Having dudes
freshman
as well.
of the year last year to beat out Jeremiah Smith. Edge rush. What's
Simmons?
Simmons, yeah.
That's what money gets you, though, is the freak athlete.
And then you have the coaches and then also them being in the SEC, because now you know you're going to be competing in the best conference in fall football, even though Big Ten did their thing last year.
It wasn't last year.
I think the SEC is the best conference in football, so that's
top
also
bottom.
top to bottom.
Now,
pitch.
with that being said, talking about resources and money, a lot of teams up north have the resources and money for football. I think that is a genuine conversation that's happening behind the scenes. We should ask Sankey about that next time. Like, hey, Sankey, are you worried about all the yuppies up north who create all the CEOs, all the suits, basically? I'm not saying there isn't great business schools in the South. I haven't done enough research on that. But
Arkansas, though, you just mentioned the Walmarts.
Boom, they got money.
Jerry.
They got people.
Yeah.
Okay, you need to have a few of those people at your school. You need it. Up there in the North, all these they got a lot of money people that are around.
Michigan
recruited one.
Yeah.
They recruited maybe the richest. So I would like to let the world know that for West Virginia, I am currently recruiting billionaires. Okay. Because it feels like that's the game you're going to need. West Virginia doesn't have a lot of them coming out of West Virginia University. Got Kendrick.
Yeah.
Great to see him taking a picture with Rod.
He's in.
Okay.
That helps.
Need him.
Yeah, need him all the way in.
Need him in. Need it. Brother, we love you. Okay? We love you. We need you all the way in that particular game. But like Penn State, I don't want to bring it up every time we talk about this, but literally direct messaging from their school is, we can afford anybody at anything in any sport. We got it. And they're doing a $700 million remodel of their stadium. They got that cash, brother. Like that is like, let alone building a roster. They're talking about a $700 million just remodel of their stadium. Like, we need to make this place. Yeah. Boom, 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 boom. I'll tell you what, you done $10 million, you get access to a speakeasy right down here. You can have your own little parking spot, walk in here, got a place to go to the bathroom and a drink during the game. $10 million a year. Boom, 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 boom. No problem. Bang, 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 bang. They're just able to, they're not the only ones.
Yeah, Oregon.
You know,
Oregon's able to do the
Big
same
Ten
thing.
at the top
State,
has more cash than the SEC at the top.
Yes, definitely.
When when Michigan, Ohio State, and Penn State.
Yeah. A lot of money. And a lot of people ready to give. And like, hey, this is the game now. Deal. We're all the way.
Money won't be an issue, but Penn State, every one of them programs where you got to see it to believe it.
Yeah.
He's got to see it to believe it. Even like A&M, Texas A&M for years.
All the money.
Oh, they got all the money, all the resources. Jimbo's making, but like never could really get over that hump. Oregon has, gotten there close, but the teams that we know have done, like even Texas. Texas have been there before, so we can kind of visualize that. We can see them being a dominant program. So I got some of these other programs. I gotta see it.
Well, and they're not in a conference, but that's why I like Notre Dame this year. It feels like it turned a corner just because
they got 12,700 employees.
Yeah, well, bingo. I can't imagine how many employees Texas has.
They said they were the number one company voted on, I guess, by 200,000 employees across the U.S.
Wow.
Status number one employer of 2025, Notre Dame.
Oh, that's from Boardroom. I saw something about innovative companies from them too.
They put the Catholics up there at number one, brother.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, but I mean, once you start releasing,
I thought I was a pretty good employer. Weren't we a pretty good employer? Did you guys do any votes?
They didn't
ask. No, and I'll tell you what.
That's what you guys would say, though.
Yeah,
that's what you guys would say.
I wouldn't put Notre Dame at number one. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, and also, isn't Delta having a bunch of planes blow up?
Whoa,
so
what are we talking about?
No, allegedly.
That has nothing to do with them being an employer.
Not allegedly.
Whatever the case, congrats to all these companies. You're really doing it.
Yeah, that NVIDIA logo looks interesting too.
They're doing great up there.
What's wrong with the logo? I don't know. Why don't you tell me? Just check it out. I have to go in.
NVIDIA, they're worth 100 trillion or something like that.
Yeah.
Google, remember they had little sleeping pods. I saw that.
They did.
They had those sleeping pods.
In and out, inexpensive burgers.
Right.
You know. So
yeah, but they're the best in the world.
That keeps the employees happy.
Trader Joe's.
45 seconds.
Hell yeah.
Real deal.
I love it.
All right, we will continue on YouTube, ESPN Plus, Disney Plus, and TikTok Live, which is the exact same place, other than ESPN Plus and Disney Plus, that big night out will be. Ooh. We will see you tomorrow here on ESPN. Goodbye. Okay, yeah, I announced that last night. Should have done a little bigger announcement.
Did you know you were announcing it last night?
We decided 4 minutes before.
No.
Cole's like, what am I supposed to say here? I'm like, what are you saying? He goes, I'm saying ba-ba-ba, sell it and ba-ba-ba. And then, what are you going to say? I was like, we should just say I'm streaming it. I don't think that's been announced yet. All right. Then literally 35 seconds later, kind of comes together. You know, it was kind of forced announcement, rushed announcement. I'll say not forced, a rushed announcement. But with that being said, yeah, YouTube, TikTok Live, and X. Didn't know if there was going to be a want to go see it. You know, once there was a want to be in the arena, which I appreciate, and then I saw the reaction, it was like, all right, we should do a streaming version of this particular program. Mm-hmm. And WWE will be, cameraing, rigging, setting up, and it should be a good little program. I think it's going to be a pretty good little program. There will also be giveaways for those watching at home. Okay, obviously, those will happen via the X platform, because it's the easiest way to search things, find things, and respond in real time. I know there's other platforms that people love. I can appreciate whatever your reasoning is, but on X for giveaways, it's the easiest for us because search hashtag, we can find literally the time that it's mentioned, and if you mess up the hashtag, it's on you. So you gotta do the entire thing. So we'll be doing giveaways throughout the entire evening to those watching at home, and it should be a wonderful Wednesday night over there in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Those friends, are those their actual silhouettes?
Those are not their actual silhouettes. Those are bland silhouettes. And also, I don't know if that's the proper amount of people that will be there that evening.
Okay.
Keep guessing.
I was about to start making some guesses.
There's a lot of people guessing on the internet. I do appreciate that. Those people guessing things on the internet have led to some uncomfortable conversations between me and people. Hey,
I'm coming.
Is
this real? That'd be cool.
That's
I
on
guess
me.
I can make it work. Quick turnaround, but
and it's a cool position to be in where people do want to actually be on the show, which I thought would be the complete opposite. So I've got a couple text messages. Hey, I've got my mentions. Have you? Is there a?
What am I doing?
Is there something to?
This will be fun.
It's like I don't think so. Well, why not? It might be an excellent. Would that be cool? But it's been a lot of. That's gonna be fucking cool, man.
Oh yeah,
that's gonna be really cool. The people that I'm working with at the WWE to piece the in production shit together, because they obviously do arena shows around the world. They are showcasing that. It's been a lot of fun because it feels like they're actually pumped up about it as well. And I don't know if that's just strictly because they want me to feel good about it or if they actually are pumped, but it feels like they are genuinely pumped up. And the amount of ideas that are being pitched now, not only by the WWE and the production folks, but also like the people that have been booked for said show. Like there is a lot of positive energy going around. Too much, maybe.
No
such thing.
No such thing.
There's positive energy?
Yeah, you're right, because the universe responds to positive.
That's right.
Go Mono.
It is Oos. It is. You see that Oklahoma drill?
I did.
That was cool.
That was wild.
See that? I mean, I didn't know rugby's doing the Oklahoma drill.
That was.
But I'll tell you what, George Foster, 72, good follow. Former teammate of mine, offensive lineman in the NFL for a while. He is a good follow. And I'll tell you what, the Oklahoma drill. I don't know if they're doing this in rugby or if this is every day happening. But what a collision! Thought the ball carrier lost. Turns out he ended up winning.
Yeah.
They had him in the first half. You see, and then in the second half, he flipped that entire thing around. What a collision with no pads on, no helmet.
Yeah,
guy's vertical.
Got to drive your feet on contact.
It's true.
Can't
stop your feet.
I don't know.
Got to drive your feet on contact.
Isn't it E equals MC squared? I assume there was a math equation happening in old buddy's head as he was running at him. Dude. If I hit him clean and leave my feet, there's no way this guy stays standing. And at the beginning, he was right.
Yeah.
That sternum was collapsing a little bit. But then Oos just put his foot in the ground and runs him over. What a collision, Ty Schmidt.
I mean, both those guys should be dead. Realistically, both of those guys should be dead. And I'm guessing that we didn't get the footage, but they probably popped back up and did this like 15, 16 more times.
Especially with that crowd around you. How could you feel anything with that amount of people, especially under the lights? What a night. And thank you to them for doing that. There's other magical videos circulating around the internet. You know, did you see Luka hit this shot? Oh, my God.
What?
Luka Doncic from the corner, from a VAM. Okay, so I believe those are called VAMs in arenas. You take a VAM to go back to wherever you need to go. Before he heads back to the locker room, Luka Doncic, who has 1 million trick shots in his arsenal, hits that.
Oh.
I don't know how that goes in. Okay, I put that one out there, and I go, what the fuck is this, or something like that. I forget my actual tweet about it. It ended up getting like 6 million. A lot of people felt the same exact way. Because the physics of that, I don't think that is supposed to... How high you have to shoot that to be able to come down
the mortar
with how close it is, and then also skips off the front, and it still goes in. It's like, what a shot. He has that bounce shot. He has off the Jumbotron shot. Luka, you could tell, just grew up throwing a ball at a hoop his entire life. This shot, unbelievable.
I mean, these guys obviously do it for, this is what they do for a living, doing all their life, so they got trick shots out the ass, but this is crazy. I mean, this is like a flop shot, like right over. Like that's
absurd. It is a flop shot.
That's like unbelievable. And we saw the with some other guys doing it too, but this Luka, this is something you would expect. If I had to pick a guy who can make a guy like this, a shot like this would be Luka and probably 2 other guys.
The thing about Luka is whenever you do that, you have to say, wow, hoop looks big tonight. You know, he had 20 in the first quarter after making it. How could you not? After you make that, it's like everything's falling.
Lethal Shooter got to do it now.
Lethal Shooter will be able to pull that off.
Let's see if he understands that.
Lethal Shooter will be able to put a bottle in the hoop, and he'll throw a gummy somehow over, I understand it, and somehow that fucker will drop right in there. You know who I don't believe and never will anymore? A great shooter in the history. Steph Curry, from one VAM all the way to the opposite end of the court. Remember, we saw a Sports Illustrated video a few years back where Steph Curry made 5 full court shots in a row. Then they told us it was just green screen. He wouldn't be able to do that before a game. Oh!
Can't fake that one.
Wow.
I mean,
good shot.
I lost my mind. I said, holy shit, Steph Curry's a guy. That didn't go in.
What? Saw it.
Other angle.
Are you shitting me?
There's multiple other angles that didn't go in. Yeah, look. Didn't go in.
That's not Steph's fault.
Didn't go in. Now, they clap for him.
Yeah.
Okay? So he's just got to kind of take that and kind of move, I guess?
Yeah.
I'm never
you think he knows it didn't go in?
Huh?
You think he knows it didn't go in?
Yeah, he's Steph Curry.
I mean,
he knows.
No, watch his reaction after this shot. He he puts his fingers up like just so close. I almost made that.
Okay, so you think he was trying to tell the crowd I didn't do it.
Exactly.
But the internet didn't understand that. I was forced this on my algo saying, look what Steph just did.
Wait for it.
Oh, yeah, he shook his head, yeah.
Look at that guy.
So close, right there. So close.
Yeah. Okay, so we shouldn't blame Steph for this.
I apologize.
Yeah, we do apologize.
All right.
Okay, not Steph's fault.
Fair
Internet's
enough.
fault for sure for telling us it was a make though.
Definitely.
Because we go from Luka to this. I'm like, these dudes need to go on tour.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know. I don't know what all trick shots they got in their bag, but this is an unbelievable thing. So it's not Steph's fault. Sports Illustrated thing.
That was his fault.
100%.
Completely.
Yeah, that.
That can't be happening.
They can't.
Very makeable. I think he would have been able to make
On the other side, though.
Especially after watching that.
I think because he read the curve of that.
And where he was in the Sports Illustrated video, he wasn't in a VOM. He was like in front of the net. And in this, there it is.
Here it is.
It's like, okay, now I definitely believe he could do this, but I never would if he did.
Yeah, like why wouldn't Steph be able to do this? Of course he can. But
Yeah, maybe we're not the demo.
what do you mean?
I mean, because when we were kids, there were some commercials that completely captivated us.
David Beckham?
The LeBron one?
Yeah, LeBron.
Mike Vick throwing
was that T.O. or?
Andre Johnson.
Andre Johnson, Michael Vick.
I thought those were real.
It was like, well, okay, this is real. Nobody could convince me otherwise. So I
Mason Crosby kicking the bell tower.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
There are some great ones.
I mentioned it there. Beckham hitting the garbage cans. Do you remember that out there on the beach?
Yep.
I thought, yeah, he could probably do that.
Yeah.
I thought that, yeah, David Beckham could do that. That one, I thought, yeah, Steph could do
Was
that.
it Ronaldinho off the goalpost?
Yeah, like the volleys.
Tom Brady just did one in the jugs machine.
Well, you could tell all of his are
Dan
fake.
Marino, throwing it from the boat.
That one was real. That was in
Messi.
To Messi,
Let's not go too far now. Dan Marino, it's fucking real.
Yeah, I know. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Vic actually threw that football out of the stadium at the Powerade commercial.
I believed it.
Yeah.
At the time, I thought he did.
Yeah.
The coolest one was the NBA.
Which one?
The Jingle Bells one, where they actually shot all those balls.
Oh, you're talking about the 8 hoops?
The 8 hoops, yeah.
You saying that wasn't real?
That was fun. That was fun to see them kind of all get on the same page like that. That's good to see teamwork. I like that type of stuff. Speaking of, LeBron James will be on the show probably tomorrow.
What?
Okay.
Probably tomorrow.
Holy shit.
That's pretty. Yeah,
that's insane.
None of us really fully. No, it's going to happen.
I believe it when I see it.
That's the big thing.
When I see that it is currently happening.
Would be so cool if it was to happen. It would be very pumped about it.
Yes.
But a lot of things seemingly have to fall into place here. And we're hoping that it does.
Yeah.
We're hoping that it does. Our show is not based downtown Indianapolis.
No.
So we are just hoping that information has been.
It's within the vicinity.
I've been told it has. Vicinity is a good way to say it.
I mean, we got
same state.
Get a workout in.
Yeah, I mean, why not do the shoot around here? It's a little bit of a drive, though.
He's used to it, though. L.A. Yeah, it's like the same thing.
Oh,
when
it's
you land
way
in
shorter than
LAX,
LA,
You
yeah.
know, like, I mean, it's going to take, 20, 25, 30 minutes to get there. No big deal. You're used to it.
I wanted to make sure that message was said to him because I don't need him to land and then get told what it is. And I'm not doing that.
Yeah, true.
So I just would like it to be told. Like,
smart.
Hey, did you relay the message? Yep, they said he does know. I'm like, that's what it is right now, though. Like, you guys Google the map now, what it will be at that time. Yeah, it'll be all right. He's in. It's all right. We can't wait to talk to you, Bronco. King James, LeBron James.
There's some good songs going around the internet.
What's that?
LeBron James.
Oh, man, the LeBron James mixes. Someone did, one we listened to was Hey There, Delilah. You know that song?
Yeah.
And someone did Hey There, LeBron. And there are these mixes of songs going around in there.
Are they saying LA City or New York City? What's the next line?
To be honest, I don't remember specifically. I do.
Hey there, LeBron. What's it like in LA City?
Or it's like, what's it like being the GOAT or something like that.
Okay, so we're completely.
I was just saying LA City.
Okay, sweet.
So I hadn't heard it, but sounds like
It's a TikTok thing.
I understand it now.
Yeah, bingo.
TikTok's wacky, man.
Zany. We're on there. We're on there a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of people get their information from our TikTok, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
I find that out when I'm out and about. That's an interesting little piece of information.
I'll say it every time. They're the most positive community out there out of all social media platforms.
So they're real.
So positive.
Yeah.
So positive.
They're very nice.
They're real.
Shout out to TikTok.
Oh, yeah.
Daughter's one of them.
Your daughter, big TikToker?
Yeah. Her friend group, like huge TikTokers.
They dance?
Yeah, but not as much. That kind of gets annoying.
Why?
You gotta
You're committing to
you gotta
something.
understand that they're kids. So I'm going to practice. I'm sitting on the sideline, and they're over there. 5 minutes before practice, and they're
Lock in! Something to do.
Yeah, I just gotta relax.
Hey, we're not TikTok. Relax. Okay? I'm going to ban it from the locker room. You can be on TikTok. You just can't dance on TikTok. That's what Rich Rodriguez. Yeah. I know they're going to be on it, so I can't just ban the app. I wish I could. Fuck, I wish I could. They just can't fucking dance on the app. You see? They can fucking open it, but when they open it, I better not see them in fucking tights in our locker room dancing. Okay? Hard edge? What's hard edge about you fucking in your Spanx dancing around on TikTok? That was Rich Rod's message to the team.
Good message.
Made sense.
Great mess.
And you, delete the app. I really do wonder how these kids feel going from Neil Brown to Rich Rodriguez.
Yeah.
I mean, there's
I'm sure
reasons.
Neil had a similar message.
Yeah. Okay.
So many people entered the portal. I would like to see the numbers on West Virginia.
I mean, I couldn't imagine. We went from Rich Rodriguez to Bill Stewart, rest in peace, who's a legend. But with Bill Stewart came a new strength coach who's still there. Mike Joseph is a great dude. But just the entire culture was very different than what it was with Rich Rod. Rich Rod is like, hey, we're on time. We're working our asses off. And you are all in. This is all the time. This is what we are. And then everything else is like, it's just a little bit different. Like everybody's culture is a little bit different. From what I got to experience briefly with Neil Brown's culture and what we know about Neil, represented West Virginia with a lot of class. And I think he was an incredibly nice guy. Was giving credit to the other coach all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Credit to this team, credit to that team. He was very respectful. Like I do appreciate that.
guy.
But I think they had a different culture than what Rich Rod would have. And I wonder now after one spring, especially with that transfer portal thing available, like what guys are going to do. Because I assume there is an easier way that they've already maybe experienced. Hey, it doesn't have to be, So I do wonder about that. But are we at a time now where people are understanding where it's good to be held accountable whenever you're trying to become an adult? It's good to be coached. It's good to go really hard. It's good to do these things. I think at the beginning of the transfer portal, it was like, I don't like you, and transfer. You're mean, transfer, all those things. He just talked about 700 guys in the portal or whatever it is in the entire thing. I think at the beginning of the portal, there was a lot of that. I wonder if we're getting to a point now where maybe there's a little bit more hey, got to go through a little bit of adversity.
I hope so.
I hope so too. You need it. And
you hear a lot of the coaches talk about, I'm sure players probably talk about it amongst themselves. So many people go into the portal and just get left high and dry. And then I feel very, very bad for the high school kids where they don't have the same opportunity that we had when we were coming out. So if you are in a spot, where you can compete, you got a coach who cares about the program, cares about your development. Obviously, every situation is different and unique in its own. But as a general statement, I would say, grind it out, man. You're gonna have some adversity. You may not be getting to play
life is gonna have some.
and take the hard coach or whatever it is. Hey, most coaches have an open door policy. I'm sure Rich Rod was like this when you guys were there, to go in there and ask him, hey, what can I do better? What do I need to do better? What do I need to do to get the playing time that I want? And most coaches will be real with you because you got options now anyway. So have that man-to-man conversation, woman-to-woman conversation, depending on whatever program you're in, and get it done and fight through some adversity.
There's an open door policy over there, but he also will open a door for you to get in there a couple times.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, those are good convos. I've heard 5 different fucking stories from last night. They all start at your fucking house. It was a duplex, I was in bed, whatever, yeah. Well, yeah, it was your house. Yeah, I was I was there. I was at my house. How come everybody's saying?
I don't know what you want me to say.
We were gathering. We had
It's weird.
camaraderie, chemistry building cookout
Hell yeah.
yesterday. I guess that's where everybody started at. You know where you're going to start each day for the next week? Fucking stairs, 6 a.m. I'm fucking sick of it. All right? Okay, I'm going to get the fuck out of here. How'd it go in there? Terrible. 6 a.m. stairs tomorrow. Ooh. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's how everybody reacted. That's how I started the season.
Is it a basketball gym? Stairs or?
No, it's the football stadium.
Ooh.
Yeah, 6 a.m. Yeah. That was the beginning of the season because this is after training camp, you see?
Yeah, we had 6 a.m. That was our punishment too.
Yeah. That was no fun.
That
was no fun at all.
Sandbags too.
No, I didn't have that.
Because we had to run because our stadium was off campus, but the old stadium was still on campus, Memorial Field, much shorter stadium, so wasn't high enough. 60-pound sandbags.
Jeez.
So yeah.
Yeah, you guys did have that lower.
Yeah, because no one cared.
Well, the old stadium, and then we built the new one that was filled every Saturday.
The house that Dahn built? Yeah, Orlovsky
The house
Field.
that Orlovsky built, exactly. And then, got ranked for the first time, played on ESPN a bunch, went to BCS Bowl.
Who'd you play on ESPN all the time?
You guys, Pittsburgh,
How'd it go?
Rutgers, Cincy.
Louisville even?
Louisville, a lot of bangers. They didn't have a great time playing at WV. They were ahead of the game. That tricky shit with Pat White.
That's Rich
Unstoppable.
Lyman just running like it was
Pat White and Steve Slater were unstoppable.
Yeah, that shit was some video game shit.
For like a year and a half, 2 years, it was just like unstoppable. And then Pat gets hurt. I have a terrible first quarter. we don't play well. And now it's like Rich moves on to Michigan. And then that whole era just got forgot about. Like, don't even talk about it. Ended bad. We don't want to hear about it. And I'm just like, God damn. Like, I understand that it ended bad, but I think we should talk about Pat White and Steve Slayton a little bit more. Because what Pat was able to do there is just, he won 5 straight bowl games, including the Senior Bowl, obviously. Like, one of the best leaders of all time. And whenever he was on a football field, it felt like he was going to score every time he got the ball. And if not him, somebody else was. And we were obviously running the fucking, option zone or whatever. You get it. RPO, I guess they call it now. But you had Owen Schmidt, who was 60 pounds, whatever it was. Hang cleaning like 400 pounds. Just like an absolute monster. He's either taking the dive, or Steve Slayton's getting the pitch, or Pat White's going to cut it and go. And it was like, it was unstoppable.
It wasn't. Because it was something you only saw maybe once, twice a year. And nobody else had a Pat White, the Steve Slayton.
And Darius Reynaud we had.
Reynaud out there, and they went on to get Devine and all these other athletes. So, yeah, it was different. But, I mean, Big East.
Pat White murdered a guy against UConn. Fucking
crackback?
Murdered.
Yeah, it was illegal. He would have been kicked out of the game. It was Bush League. But those Big East days were some good days. Shady McCoy and that crew of Pittsburgh, Ray Rice, Brian Leonard at Rutgers, and Kenny Britt.
I think I just got Shady's number.
Yeah, Brian Kelly.
What's Shady?
Cincinnati.
Shady's on the facility?
The facility.
Yeah.
What's it called?
The facility.
Yeah, I think he is on the facility. I just got his number. I just got connected with him. I don't think I haven't talked to him in a long time. Yeah, he was great.
Yeah.
I mean, just fuck.
Yeah. Donald Brown, obviously can't go out and mention him.
First round draft pick.
2,000 yard back.
Indianapolis Colts.
First round pick, I believe, from UConn.
Good dude. Yeah. You guys stopped giving him the ball against us his senior year. He had a fumble in the first half, and then the second half, you guys didn't give him the ball. We won. But,
it's Randy Edsel football.
Feels like if you would have given him the ball, he had something going. he had something.
He was our offense.
Yeah, he certainly was. And he was awesome. He ran perfect form running. He was a good dude. That was like we played Calvin Johnson and Roman Reigns in the Gator Bowl, and they didn't throw to Calvin Johnson in the whole second half. It was awesome. It was like we were so happy and thankful they didn't do that. It was just like I wasn't like I feel like my football IQ good, not great next to everybody else, but at the time it was very limited. I was just like a football fan at the time, and boy, you'd see some teams do some stuff, and it's like they got this guy, we don't. Like, why?
Do they not see number 21 out there? I had before we played him. My coach was like, if I was Georgia Tech, I would throw the ball to 21 50 times a game.
Every play.
Just live with the result. Like the first time I lined up against Calvin, like you see him on tape, but when he stood across from you, and it was like his fucking hands were scraping the ground while he stood in his stance, and then he was faster than anybody else in the field. The shit he did, even on the video game, it was like he was a video game out there in real life. I think was Reggie Ball the quarterback, or was it Taylor Bennett, the lefty?
I think it was Bennett. I don't
lefty
remember.
White dude.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay, Reggie Ball was a super athletic number one righty.
Yeah.
So either one of those two. Tachari choices.
Is this a UConn hit? Is this a UConn hit right here? Okay,
come on.
Let's relive this. I think this is on Thursday night. Steve Slayton gets the pitch. Owen Schmidt murders somebody. Somebody fills the gap. Crackback coming. Boom!
I remember that.
That's Pat White, and then a horse collar, obviously. Horse collar.
That was me diving in there late.
Extra 15, hopefully we got there.
Hopefully I got a half a tackle.
Yeah, that was our quarterback, though.
Yeah,
that was our quarterback just getting up.
Yeah, that's Bush League.
Here's a nice slow-mo. Look at the Mountaineer Maniacs getting after it. Obviously,
crazy.
good times back there. There's here it is.
How old are we?
Hey, look at the. Anytime I look at old highlights, it's like, wow. It's amazing how much technology has changed. Bang, dead. That's Pat White football, baby. That's Pat White football.
I wasn't loafing.
Good effort, Butch.
I was,
Great effort, yeah.
Taking away the touchdown.
Oh, there's the dive with Owen Schmidt. Yeah, I mean, just classic. Literally what we did there. Pitch, cut back. Now we're running either a dive or a pitch.
It's not fun.
Boom! Boom! Took out 2. If you're a good man, get 1. If you're a great, get 2. That's what Pat White did.
Dana Dallas.
Big East was on. That was probably Thursday Night Football, too.
For sure.
Those shoulder pads, too.
That was before the NFL was on Thursday, so our numbers on Thursday night were absurd. And it was a spectacle. And then on the sideline was Rich Rodriguez. Give me the fuck.
We had some coaches, too. Rich Rod, I think Wanstead was at the Pitt. And Brian Kelly, Cincinnati.
Petrino
at Louisville.
It was either Wanstead or what was his name?
Wanstead was there?
He went to Stanford after. Can't remember his name.
Big East was awesome.
Shaw.
Howland.
No, that's basketball.
Ben Howland.
Jamie Dixon.
Yeah.
Also basketball. Big East was great.
It was. Good days.
It was an honor to be a part of it. With
Good
you.
run, gentlemen.
Was an honor.
It's a good run.
Louisville was really good at that time.
Yeah, Brian Brom.
Walt
Harry
Harris.
Douglas.
Walt Harris
Mike
was
Bush.
Yeah, he was a fucking tank.
There was a Bush chant the one game we played where he came out. He just broke his leg. So he was on crutches. And it was, I think it was a Thursday night game. We always played on Thursday.
Yeah, it
like
was the
before
prime
Mac, it was
time.
always like a Thursday night game. He came out. That entire place was chanting for him. It had to feel so cool. He was so big.
Yeah.
He was so. And who was the? We just talked about it. D tackle, the kid who was super young,
Okoye?
Nigerian name.
Yeah,
Okoye?
Mbobi Okoye.
Yeah, I think is that who?
He was young, probably like 17 when he first hit the scene.
He was just picking dudes up.
Yeah, 16, 17. So I think he went to the league like 19, 20 or something crazy like that. Who else was there? Tight end, Was it Barnage? Gary Barnage? Tight end. Travis Kelsey was in Cincy.
Same with Jason Kelsey.
Harry Douglas, you were going to say?
Yeah, I think I saw him run by me one time on a return.
He spit in your face, didn't he, D-Butt?
Yeah.
No, he spit in teammates in my face. He hit me in the nuts.
Oh, okay.
Tapped me, yeah.
Harry was a dog.
He's a bit of a dog.
Yeah, cock check.
Hey, you guys have made
Dirty
you guys have
dog.
talked.
We've made amends, yes.
Yeah.
We've made amends.
All right, let's get to a break. On the other side, we'll wrap up all the storylines happening around the sports world. We can't thank you enough for allowing us to do this. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. Take 5.
Bye.
Well, nonetheless, as of February 1st, Pat McAfee is officially a contributor with WWE.
Living his dream to be a part of WrestleMania.
I want to see Pat McAfee tonight.
I've been preparing for this my entire life.
McAfee wins! McAfee wins! Pat McAfee has done it again! It's time to toast the boys and toast the brand. McAfee's wanted to drink beer with Stone Cold forever. Stunner! Stunner!
There was a point in my life, all I could think about doing was professional wrestling.
McAfee closing in on another WrestleMania victory.
First, we're going to have to get the okays, obviously. And we did from people high up. They were the only people that knew for a while. There was like 3 people that knew in the whole world that was going to potentially be a situation for a little bit.
City of Stars, Boston Connors here. We will be there tonight. Everybody's supposed to know we're here. It's going to be tough. And if you're a man that's only known for wearing tank tops, you kind of got to cover it up. I didn't see him. Hey, I'm Pat. Nice to meet you. He's hanging in the back. One second. Here you go. If I put this on my face, I feel some shit. Who's all gonna be in here?
Nobody. This is you until you go out.
Come on, dude. Let's go and take a look around. There's some bunk beds there. You know, there's a shitter and a shower here in the back.
He sat in that bus 6, 7, 8 hours, 9, 10 hours.
I'm coming down that thing. Holy fuck, what a view that's gonna be. Hell yeah. Look at all those fucking people that are gonna be there.
Just waiting, for an opportunity to potentially have a WrestleMania moment.
It's ridiculous. This is awesome. WWE is just like the best at operating. They take care of the non-obvious. So we're very thankful to be here. And tonight should be fucking sick. Hell yeah. I think there's like 3 people that know I'm here.
Are we not supposed to come in here?
No, yeah.
All right.
4 now. Look at you.
I want to say a word.
I'll see you at SoFi. You going to be in LA?
I don't know, George. Is it,
It's a loaded question.
George, we don't know, George. You don't know, maybe.
What's up, Stan?
Oh, nice. As soon as I saw George showcase that tight end university tank top, I knew there was a chance old George was about to do something special.
Are you kidding, boys?
Welcome to WrestleMania!
The night was getting late. We weren't sure. We didn't know if a moment was going to pop up where maybe my services could be utilized.
I haven't been in a ring since SummerSlam. Okay, like not even in one.
All I wanted was the Miz to have an opportunity to have a match, just a WrestleMania match.
Yeah, good guy. Stand there.
And then the Miz mentions, I sent out an open challenge, and we go,
oh my God,
there it is.
And I put out an open challenge.
and no one responded. Why? Because I'm the Miz, and I'm awesome!
Let's go!
Wait a minute! I feel like McAfee's here!
I have walked out into a stadium as a WWE superstar probably a million times in my head.
WrestleMania was missing Pat McAfee in the Pat McAfee Show!
And I'm thankful to the WWE Universe that said hello whenever I came out on that massive fucking stage.
By the way, there's only 2 announcers undefeated in WrestleMania history, me and Pat. I can't believe McAfee's here! Hello, beautiful people!
What's up, Snoop?
What's up, Snoop?
You're a legend, dog. You're the best, dog. Hello, Miz. None of us saw this alleged open challenge that you set. But good news. This is my WrestleMania tank top. If you still would like a match, why don't you let me beat your ass right here, right now?
You all want to see the Miz versus Pat McAfee right here, right now? I'm the host of WrestleMania, and I cannot make matches official.
Miz, I do believe your tiny balls are showing. Tiny balls. Tiny balls. Baby meat as well. There's
80,497
people here. Somebody has to be able to make a match official somewhere.
I am the dog father and the host of WrestleMania, so I feel like I could make that match happen. Right now, we got a ref, we got you, Let's get cracking. I'm out. Let's go.
And McAfee go right after Miz with the right hand, driving Miz back into the corner. Pat McAfee in action. This is a blatant sneak attack. He takes his duties as host of WrestleMania. Oh yes, Mindbuster! Derelict shows up. And check out his tank top though. He's got sparkles on it. You're behind this, aren't you? But no, I had no idea. You said the same thing in the Rumble. I didn't know this guy was showing up. Oh, what a kick by McAfee! Miz.
Hey, baby balls! Baby balls! Tiny meat!
In a $7,000 tuxedo. Yeah, good. George Kittle of the San Francisco 49ers. I'm not sure how wise that was. McAfee's got the official distracted in the ring. Kittle just took out Miz. Kittle telling McAfee to go on top. McAfee heading up to the top rope. And taking out the Miz. Now we're talking. Miz may never win another match. McAfee closing in on another WrestleMania victory. The all-decade punter with a punch to end this thing. Here's your winner, Pat McAfee. A surprise here tonight at WrestleMania goes Hollywood.
That match was awesome. I had so much fun there. That was a good time. The punt was fucking hilarious. You got a tiny balls champ going. I had a feeling. You're sitting here all day. Oh, I wanted to text you earlier. I was told not to text you. Well, of course. Nobody fucking texts you. I was told not to text you. You had a hell of a show.
I'm so thankful to the people at the WWE. It was a super cool night, super cool moment, and I'm very thankful for it all.
5:30 a.m. Sunday. This day started 6:30 a.m. Saturday. So much cool shit happened in between now and then. joke of an existence. Very thankful for everything. Let's go take a nap.
Why?
So active. Oh, look at this. Body slam. Body slammy, Sami Zayn. Wee-Man used to kick himself in the face. Are you kidding me? Now he's body slamming Sami Zayn.
Let's go to the phones. Let's go to Dan in Connecticut. Lovely place here on the 5 Energy phone line. What's going on, Dano?
Oh, what's up, Pat McAfee?
Dan, you are too young to listen to this show. I can tell. I think. How old?
I'm not Dan. I am Owen.
Ned. Owen, how old are you?
It's so different.
I am at 8.5.
Oh, that's cute.
8.5. If you're telling us you're half age, you're too young to be listening.
That's a record.
It stinks.
What's on your mind, pal?
What do you want to talk about, Owen?
I want to talk about how inspiring this show is and how you're inspiring this whole entire world with how you're talking about sports and how you're talking about your life experience.
Thank you, Owen.
Owen, thank you.
Love you, Owen.
Thank you,
Owen. I'm taking you on the
And also, fuck Boston College.
I will let Owen know, if you're still listening, Owen, you're inspiring.
Best kid ever.
Owen, the way you talk about sports is inspiring.
Yes!
I didn't know 8.5 could do that.
Wow.
Shout out Owen.
That time.
Go, Owen.
Hey, Owen. New generation in Connecticut, I guess.
He was making me feel good, too, by the way. He was making me feel good, making the show feel good. He was talking us up. He was hyping us up, and then boom, a little.
Was this Aristotle's brother?
A little misdirection from Aristotle's brother, Owen, at 8.5 there. That was awesome.
I'd say he put his balls on your forehead, but I don't think they dropped yet. So.
Hey,
Why?
let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, UP.
Damn it!
Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Are You Serious, Baby? Tuesday, March 25th, 2025, hour 3 of the program starts now. Sports! Great work yesterday by Ian Rappaport.
The baby rap.
Appreciate you doing that rap sheet. He took a victory lap on the Insiders. Don't know if you saw that. Talked about how much he crushed it. And I agree. It was an honor to chit-chat with him from Scotland. Obviously, last night's Monday Night Raw over in Glasgow was insane. Did you see John Cena?
Crazy. What's he doing?
He's calling. He say you're horrible people.
I know. I'm
He
done.
say you're horrible people.
Yeah, it's over for John.
Then he talked about that kid, like just buried him yet again. And he said, you guys cheered for me burying that kid. You're terrible people. You shout profanities. You're childish. You're terrible people. He's just letting these people know. And I saw some kids in the crowd over there in Glasgow who, what do we do?
Say, John.
And John Cena said, what did you do? Not enough. And that was an uncomfortable situation out there. I'm going to say it, D-Butch, 9-year NFL vet, Darius J. Butler. I was uncomfortable listening to John Cena talk to the crowd like it.
I was too, and I was sitting about 2 seats down right over in the Thunderdome in the think tank from D-Bone. And he was shouting profanity at John Cena.
Really? He was going along with the chant?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So everything that Cena was saying, he was saying it right to him. So it was good to see exactly who he was talking to. And I'm going to stand on what I said last week. They deserve it.
Who?
Everybody that John Cena was talking about.
Yeah.
Damn right.
All of them.
In every
All
universe.
of them.
In every universe that D-Bone's in, he deserves it.
Okay, I don't love that about D-Bone. I don't think D-Bone loves it either, but there was supportive. D-Bone's been a supporter of John Cena since the beginning.
Yeah.
Since the very beginning.
Sure.
We're talking wearing the headband on the head.
Yeah.
And wearing wristband on his bicep.
And the you can't see me joke wasn't funny.
It was, though.
Never been funny.
It was funny.
Look, that is D-Bone right
guy.
there. He is that kid. He was once that kid. That's how long John Cena has been doing it. And D-Bone was heartbroken. And I saw a little boy over here, am I right, last night, who very obviously was being told to boo Cena.
Oh, no.
But he didn't want to.
Yeah, he's a sweet boy.
He didn't want to do it.
Tearing him apart?
He was. He was tearing him apart when Cena was doing. Yeah, legit. It was bad.
Who was telling him to boo?
You could tell people around him. People around him were like, we don't like
That's
it.
how Scotland rolls?
I mean,
I don't think it's just Scotland. I think it's WWE Universe right now. I think there's some people that when the music hits, it all goes.
Yeah.
Natural reaction is John Cena's here, and then people have to be reminded,
We don't like this guy anymore.
you don't like us.
He sold out.
He said some terrible things. He has sold out.
He sold out. He sold out to big corporate fat cats. He sold out to China. He sold out to many things. And it feels like now, John, the clock's ticking. And I'm glad his time is up.
Now, with that being said, D-Bone has purchased the newest shirt, fresh off of last night's promo. John Cena said he's going to win the title, then he's going to retire.
4XL?
Yeah. Obviously, 4X is alarming.
Holy fuck,
Bone, come on, Bone, some vegetables. I walked out there. He was eating fortune cookies.
Yeah.
He wasn't even taking the paper out of it. He was just housing fortune cookies. And he had 4 to 5 of them, which means he ordered enough for the Chinese food company to think that this was a 4 to 5 person meal because they try to give as many fortune cookies to as many people they think are going to be eating. So we need to watch this, D-Bone. I saw him eat 4. He might have been given 6. How many orders did this guy? I want a number 2. I want a 10. I want a 38. And then they were like, well, this got to be 100 people.
Yeah.
How many? And then he's just eating them. D-Bone.
Good Lord.
You're telling me he got Chinese again today?
Did he do it yesterday?
He got Chinese yesterday as well.
After a
I wasn't here.
sturdy breakfast.
D-Bone, enough. You're going to die. Okay, take care of yourself. I know you're... Huh?
They shrink. Okay. The shirts shrink.
Oh, so you know who does the merch.
I mean, we know.
Well,
we can't say
you
it.
know what? You might be onto something there.
All right, good call, D-Bone. All right, we're happy to see you're not 4X on your way to 5, is what he's saying.
4X right to 3.
It also doesn't help. You got to wash it 100 times when you're spilling mustard all over it and all that kind of stuff every single time you wear it. So, most people are washing that thing, 2-3 times a month. D-Bone's got to wash it,
Is this D-Bone's first place of work? Feels like we.
I believe he worked for the Kane County Cougars, which was a ball team. So he was going.
But was he doing it from home? I think he was doing a lot of remote stuff.
Freelance. Yeah.
I assume he said hey, if I can't come in and get at least 10 hot dogs from the concession stand every single day, I'm not working for you guys.
That's part of the contract.
Yeah.
And he's got to wash it too, because boy, does he smell bad right now. He's sweating like a grease pig, man.
D-Bone?
Yeah, it's.
Does he know that? Does D-Bone know that?
Connor has told him multiple times.
I was watching last week when he came and stood there. That was rude.
What Connor was saying?
Yeah,
walk my shoes, butts. Okay, you be sitting over here, you be saying "pu" just like me.
No, you're so.
Yeah, no, that wouldn't even do it justice.
D-Bone, take care of yourself. Okay, we love you, D-Bone.
Graveyards yawn when he's rolling by. Okay, that's when you know. That's when you know, boy, oh boy, we got a shite-smelling fatso on our heads.
That's not true. D-Bone, that is not true. We don't agree with that. But I will say, D-Bone, you're really good at what you do. You got great energy in here. We need you to live.
Yeah.
Okay? You're way too young.
Yeah, we love you.
For these things to be being said about you. Okay? You get to 30, you get a kid, you get married.
Then you let yourself go.
Those things happen.
Fine.
Right now, can't be happening, D-Bone.
His national champion jersey's hanging in the locker room now. D-Bud's gasped yesterday. He said, that's how you're the size you used to be.
No, those are tight jerseys. Listen, we don't need to be making... This guy is a big guy right now. He's living. He's a retired athlete. National champ.
Yeah, you're right. USA football player.
I have not seen it.
Yeah, you haven't seen it.
How long's it been hanging in there? Maybe I've seen it. I always thought it was a replica. That's his actual?
Yeah, I believe that's his actual. And I know he's retired, but you hope for a Faneca retirement, not a. I don't want to bury the person that I was about to.
Smart. That's very nice of you to do that. And let's continue to lift up D-Bone. D-Bone.
Well, 8 or 10 of us can lift him up.
All right.
Yeah, maybe as a team.
Usos is back. That was
Jimmy and
positive.
Jay.
That was positive.
That was great to see.
Yeah.
That was really great to see.
It was.
Connor just showed me who he was going to refer to. It was good to see Jimmy and Jay Uso. I'm happy you didn't do that.
Me too.
Okay, very
I'm
kind
a
of
fan.
you.
I'm a fan.
Nobody ever talks about those moments.
No, they don't.
Yeah, everybody always talks about when we maybe too much. How about whenever we choose not to?
Yeah, restraint.
That's very nice of us. Very kind of us. We're adults. So are you. Jimmy and Jay, last night was great to see.
Yeah.
How about motivational speech from Big Jim as well?
Needed.
So what is this? He slipped right in front of me. What was he doing? Going through his reeling. Then he's going to spear. He slips right in front of me. It's like, Jay, just spear the fucking guy. Yeah. What do we, and going through obviously attack from blindside, which we don't like. Yeet. The whole place, obviously, Scotland was yeeting 10,900 plus yeeting alongside of him. And I'm very thankful we didn't do last week's 10-minute yeet they did. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
We were watching here from the Thunderdome, and the entire Netflix commercial break, which is also international, they're watching through the entire time. Just yeeting for 10 minutes straight. I'm happy that didn't happen. I wouldn't have made it.
Yeah.
Especially in my kilt, obviously. But yeah, yeet. Okay. And Grayson Waller, Aussie lad, calls himself an Aussie icon. Him and Austin are, it feels like they have the
They're strapping young lads.
They have everything just right here. It's all right here. When are they gonna flip the switch? When are they going to become professional lads? Yeah. When are they going to take it to the next level? We all wait, but we know the Usos are going to be in the Hall of Fame, and it was great to watch them work in Scotland. One half of the Hammer,
Dahn.
Cowboys AP Tone is here. Cam Ward, Tone, did a little chat yet again, this time with Rich Eisen, about Aaron Rodgers potentially coming to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Remember, there was a quote Cam Hayward say, "You want to be a Steeler or you don't," and then obviously that was aggregated and taken out, and Cam was like, I'm literally just saying that. Like, he clarified a little bit with Rich Eisen. Here it is.
It's funny. Everybody gave me crap. They said I called him out. I don't think I really called him out. I just said I was not going to go on a darkness retreat to recruit him. That if he wants to be a Steeler, he can be a Steeler. Like,
right?
It doesn't. That's the pitch. I just want to win games and play good football.
In all seriousness, and I will give you the floor on this. Guy signs, you got no problem.
Anybody who signs, I welcome to the team. I don't have an ego and think like we can't win with a guy. I get excited for our team. You bring a guy on like that, he's got a good knowledge of the game, and I think he can only help.
You're 15, man. You want to talk about how things have changed for the Steelers? Trading a draft choice, A, for B, a wide receiver, and C, giving him the contract that they gave DK Metcalf. If I told you that over the first few years of the Steelers, you'd say, what team is this again, right?
I think we're in a state of, urgency. We have a lot of guys that, like myself, that are in the latter stages of their career, and we all want to win. It's not just enough to win a playoff game, which we haven't won in a couple years, and there's a bad taste in our mouth because of that.
Yeah, and that's why you're talking about an urgency with a bunch of, OGs that might be looking at the clock on the wall a little bit here. To be honest, that's why Rodgers is kind of a fit there. If you think about it, right? I mean, like, I don't know how much time he considers in his head that he does have left, but it would be similar to what you might be thinking, Cam, and others on the team. That's kind of why it sounds like it's a fit.
So, with all that being said, shout out to Rich Eisen, by the way. Him dropping OGs casually.
Yeah.
Pretty sweet in that.
Rich.
And, the editor there making Cam's head the entire screen. I understand different sizes, especially for TikTok or a reel. Cam Hayward does have a gigantic head. It's actually a part of the reason why he's so damn good. It's in his family. His dad's name was Ironhead. So, him being on the squad, 15 years in, certified Hall of Famer, I think everybody says, Yinzer legend. Him talking about the state of urgency. I saw as soon as he said that to Rich, you nodded your head as a yes. And also him saying, I wasn't calling out Aaron Rodgers. I'm just saying, like, hey, you either want to be here or you don't, which I think is what Aaron's potentially trying to figure out right now. I've not talked to Aaron. How'd you take away from what Cam just said, and how do you feel about where the state of the Steelers is right now?
I couldn't agree more with what Rich and Cam were both saying. And, yeah, I mean, Cam's been there for 15 years. TJ's been there for a long time. Minka's been there for a long time. Last year, they were the highest paid defense in the NFL. And not only the team are they getting antsy, the fan base is getting super antsy. It's at a
loud.
Yeah, loud. It's at a boiling point, to be honest, if it keeps continuing like this. But no, I agreed with everything they said. And Cam, his original comments, I had no problem with, because I think the longer that it goes on, I worry that Aaron is not going to be a Steeler, and I do want him to be a Steeler. They had the 6-hour meeting on Friday, which everyone said went well. Rap said everything went well. Your sources said everything went well. Not sure what the holdup is at this point. Let's.
Well, everybody was assuming my source was Aaron.
I don't know. You just said sources, so I didn't know.
Because we know people in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh.
I reached out. Everyone,
but a lot of people said it wasn't positive.
Everyone said that he was great in the building. Who met him? They said he was great. Let's get a name on a dotted line and let's play some football.
Yeah, and what I do wonder, like you said, the longer it goes, the less likely you feel like he's going to be a Pittsburgh Steeler, especially after a 6-hour visit. It's like I do wonder what all he's contemplating. The Aaron Rodgers brain, though, does operate in that fashion, especially first time ever being a free agent, I think.
Yes.
First time ever in his life he's been a free agent. Also, certified career, like Mount Rushmore.
Legacy built.
Football, rich. Just became Philanthropist of the Year.
That's right.
And Cali.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. For giving back to everything. Yeah, awesome. I think everything he's accomplished would already say, hey, you done good, and you can just literally ride into the sunset. And if that sunset is you actually hopping on a ship and trying to get to the sun or to the moon, whatever.
Either or.
You could go do all of those things. I do wonder and obviously he and I have not chatted throughout this entire thing. I assume he's talked to AJ. Honestly, I assume that there has been some sort of chatter with AJ. Has AJ brought it up? Probably not. I mean, that is classic AJ Hawk football. But what do you think is all going through his mind? And have the more you've thought about him with the Steelers, where do you kind of sit at now, 9-year NFL player?
The more I think about it, the more I see it happening. Honestly, you don't want it, especially if you're a Steeler fan, you don't want it lingering. But the more I see it happening, and if not going into the draft, once the draft hits, I feel like that's where I'll kind of give up hope and start looking at, Jackson Dart or Quinn, maybe, depending on how his program.
2026.
I do wonder if
you start kind of mind shifting there. But you talked about all the things and the accolades. Like, if those guys, if they come back, it's always more. They always want more. So I'm sure Aaron Rodgers want to go more. You're going to a place that is built. They have pieces where they can win right now. And that is a place, that is a program where getting to the playoffs, winning a division, those things aren't good enough. You want to compete and win for a title. And it's been a long time since they've done that. So up there, I saw one of the bullet points said money was not discussed during the 6 hours.
It was already agreed to. Allegedly.
So the money's already...
There's already been
So the money's not an issue?
Yeah, money's not an issue.
Okay.
Allegedly, money has already been yep, that'll be enough. We got it. And they say, we'll give it to us. So, now granted, getting down into the nitty-gritty, when's everything guaranteed and what do the bonuses look like, that's a whole nother conversation. But allegedly, there's already been contract in parameters that both sides have said that's good. Back to what you said, though. That was a very good point. About once the draft, then we'll kind of pay attention. I do wonder if there has been a draft deadline by both sides.
Yeah.
I do wonder if the Steelers are if you could give us a heads up before, the draft, that'd be great because we'd obviously be looking at who our future is going to be and what we already got Mason Rudolph. We'd be looking at the draft. Or if there's a date before the draft where they're if we don't know by this point, we'd like to dive into more draft kind of. I just wonder if there is a deadline, because deadlines are the things that obviously draw decisions from people in the entirety of it all.
That's why I wonder what the years are, because let's say instead of just a 1 year, he does a 2 year, and you would kind of assume almost already hey, we're gonna draft a QB. We want you to be the QB this year, maybe next year, but no matter what, this isn't going to be a 4 year deal. They need a quarterback, and maybe I don't know what the 2026 draft class looks like. Yeah, so maybe they're already looking there as well. But you would think if for instance, a Will Howard, which we haven't really brought up since the combine, or another guy that might be in that second or third round that's available there, like Quinn Ewers, that they might be thinking, hey, we're going to take this guy either way. But if it's a 2 year deal, would that shock you? Would more than 1 year?
I think they would definitely put multiple years strictly for the salary cap gymnastics thing. And who knows how many voided years on back. Who knows what the game is that Mr. Omar Khan, the con artist, does, the general manager, and Aaron Rodgers representatives in this entire thing put the deal together. But Giants allegedly still in too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And from what we've heard, he hasn't traveled to New York, right? They haven't heard
Jameis, I feel like that doesn't change it at all. That's interesting to me.
Ian Rappaport said that contract says he's a backup contract or something like that.
$4 or whatever.
That's what he said. Mm-hmm. I wonder if that's the Mason Rudolph thing as well, right? Everybody just kind of assumes.
Mason got similar money as well, but no, I don't think whether Aaron comes or not, I don't think it should change whether they take a quarterback or not. Because like we said, Aaron's 40, 41, whatever it is. He's not going to be there a long time. If you want to take a quarterback this year where you're picking at, I don't think they should probably start this year anyway. So I don't think it should affect. Or if you want to go and maybe because they got a bunch of comp picks coming after, Dan Moore goes for $50 million, Justin Fields goes for $30 million. They got comp picks coming next year, and the draft is in Pittsburgh. So if you want to, bongo a couple of threes and go up to number 1 or number 2 and get the quarterback.
Light Pittsburgh on fire.
In your city.
Could you imagine the Yinzers? There has been a trade. The Pittsburgh Steelers have traded for the number 1 overall pick. That place would go upside down. No matter who got drafted.
Yep.
No matter who.
Whether Arch stays or not, because he'll be a starter for 1 year. No, Nico could come out. Drew Aller could progress again. There's a lot of quarterbacks coming out next year.
Yeah, so maybe Mason and Aaron this year, and then what happens next year, we shall see and figure out. But I'm excited to figure out when he's going to make the decision. And what is the deciding factor? Like, what is the whole? What is the
moment?
What? Not only the moment, but right now, what is the?
I thought it was the Vikings for a while.
I think we all did. Because I think he wanted potentially like a clearer picture of who.
Yes.
What is all an option right now?
Still kind of do.
What?
What's that?
With the Vikings.
No.
You think they're still an option?
I still kind of do. Yeah, a little bit.
Really? Didn't Pelissero come out and say no? He's not.
Oh, I forget what the report.
He did.
Yeah, the report was that the Vikings. They haven't said that, but they're going with J.J. McCarthy.
Is what Tom Pelissero reported.
Correct.
Mm-hmm. And then J.J. said to Kay they
this
had
morning
told him that.
Yeah, they have not told him.
Yeah, they have not told him. But I think he said he liked that as well. Been a competitor, go in there, earn it, which I respect.
Me too. So who knows? We will certainly ask him if we get the opportunity to, and hopefully the Pittsburgh Steelers or the New York Giants or the Minnesota Vikings.
I'm just saying. I mean, I'm reading now what's on that graphic because during this time it's so much bullshit floating around, but. I'm not seeing anything like they're definitely out on Aaron Rodgers.
But you heard from JJ that he's not been told he's the guy.
Yeah, and then I see not pursuing Aaron Rodgers at this time. That kind of reeks of like, well, right now we don't like Aaron, but tomorrow we might. But again, if Pelissero said it.
No, hey, listen, I appreciate the fact that you're like, let's not rule out anything at this exact time, especially as continue to do research, continue to figure things out, continue to talk to each other, continue to learn about each other, which I think was a big part of that trip to Pittsburgh, was just like, let's learn about how this would potentially go, because maybe he didn't do that last time, with the Jets. Remember, they flew out to him.
Yeah, I don't think he did.
Yeah, I don't think he went over and
he got the hero's welcome when he first showed up, but that was like after it was a done deal. Like, hey, you're going to be the Jets quarterback.
He's already said that he loves the city of Pittsburgh. He respects the city of Pittsburgh. I think he just wanted to know what the building was probably like, and I assume they wanted to know what this dude was like in person as well.
Well, and you talked about it yesterday. I believe you mentioned it yesterday that Steelers brass, Omar, Mike Tomlin, they did not go to Michigan's pro day, and there's a lot of guys at that point where Kenneth Grant or Will Johnson who are definitely on their board. So I think it was big that they did not go to their pro day to meet with Aaron.
I wonder if anybody in Pittsburgh has told Aaron Rodgers that Kenny Wood's back.
Oh,
have you heard?
Well,
I've seen.
Have you heard?
Seen something.
Have you heard the news?
Yeah, I've heard.
Kenny Wood is all the way back. They were up for sale, weren't they? Guess what? They sold. And guess who bought it?
Record time.
A fucking amusement park family.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So they're coming in and they're doing it. And Kennywood has so much opportunity to be the greatest amusement park on earth yet again. Mm-hmm. And I say that because if you do recall in the past, Kennywood was right there at the top. Roller coaster enthusiasts had Kennywood at 1, maybe 1A behind Disney World. Now, very close.
What was that? What was the publication?
Roller coaster enthusiasts.
Number 1 roller coaster.
Enthusiasm.
Never heard of it, Bob?
No.
Not much of a roller coaster guy then, are you?
Yeah. How about coaster heads? I don't know if you've heard about that.
Does Florida even have roller coasters?
Yeah.
They got the biggest in the world.
Orlando.
Disney, pretty good. I was there. I was there a couple weeks ago.
Universal.
They didn't have the potato patch, which was certainly something, which Kennywood does have. So maybe score 1 for the black and yellow here.
Yeah. Okay.
But basically everything else, Disney World did seemingly have more of what Kennywood had. I didn't expect that.
More of the bad stuff.
Sure.
What?
I didn't go to Kennywood. Or I didn't go to Disney World.
Disney World's not
as a
an
kid.
amusement park.
Only went to Kennywood,
What is it?
And
Disney World. They're in their own category.
Universe.
Yeah.
Well, you're right. It's a universe.
Kennywood's beat with Six Flags and some other bullshit.
We can gimmick this Kennywood thing.
They sold
for as long as we want. None of you guys have been Kennywood in 10 plus years.
Wrong.
And also, Kennywood might be better now because they sold. Because whatever was running, whether it's the Kenny family or the Wood family, either family that was running it, now that they've given up the reins, it makes more sense it'll be decent.
Just please, before we go any further, the Attractions Group podcast has a message about Kennywood, please.
Ricky Spicuzza, Kennywood's general manager. I know you're all excited to see
Scroll
the Steel
down a little.
Curtain return,
Hell yeah.
and I'm excited for you to tackle this record-setting coaster. In addition to what work you might have seen during the Phantom Fall Fest and Holiday Lights last year, we've had columns delivered this offseason.
Hell yeah.
They're currently going up all around me. These new columns will help ensure that the Steel Curtain is around and ready to thrill riders for many years to come.
He says steel factor in
Once
the back.
this phase
The
of the
interaction
project
on
is
this
complete,
tweet.
our maintenance team is going to add the 2 trains back to the track, and test runs will begin.
Fuck yeah.
They'll move
And you
that
might
rental.
even see work and testing of the coaster during your first visits this spring.
Okay.
Over the past few months, I've seen this project come to life, and the wait is almost over. So get ready to go upside down 9 times on Pennsylvania's
9 times.
Whoopty-woos.
Can't wait to announce an opening date soon. Stay tuned.
Thank you, Mr. Spicazzo.
Ricky Spicuzza.
They got a good paisan out there running that thing. You see that? 9 whoop-de-woos?
You know what opening day is?
Huh?
You know what opening day is?
When is it?
April 12th. So if you want to stick around a couple of days, I'll see you there, bro.
Wait a minute. Maybe we can make a few phone calls, see if we can get in there a little couple days earlier. Holy shit. You want to talk about, we'll pay.
Wait, so you're going to test out?
You guys are going to, okay.
I'll get on.
You going to test them out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Have fun.
All 9 whoop-de-woos.
I've been
Have
on
fun.
the Steel Curtain. It's a
Sign
great
the
ride.
forms.
What are you talking about? Wait till I get Fans Revenge, Steel Curtain, you name it. I'll be. Exterminator's inside. Oh, buddy. Come on, brother. Kennywood's all the way back. You heard of Mr. Ricky there? Mr. Ricky was talking about it.
I don't trust
Maybe
that guy.
Connor can go to Kittyland and ride the teacups.
Oh, and maybe the swings.
I like the swings and the teacups. I'm fine with that.
Well, I'll say this: the best swings in the country because the music selection during the swings is great.
Black and yellow.
And it,
Renegade nonstop.
Yeah, over and over again.
good vibe.
Nelly.
And then also you get a chance to see a steel mill. You see that in the background? There's a reminder of all the hard work that has been done to make sure that this place is what it is. They sell it, reinvest in it. Kennywood's back. Just know that. And if you get a chance to stop by, you should definitely go and support it. And go to the Potato Patch. Get some fries and cheese.
Okay.
And then walk out of there and say, this is the best fucking fries I've ever had in my life. And that's all you need. Maybe Noah's Ark, stop by.
I'm glad they're still bringing it because I was sure that family bought it and was just gonna tear that shit down.
No,
What?
They're not
Fucking
still bringing
go-kart.
it.
What?
Something. I mean, I thought they're still bringing it.
They're not still
Speaking of
bringing it.
go-karts, there are bumper carts there, and you can go get after it. And they all go very fast.
On the up and up.
I don't like the swing one, but they got one of the swing ones.
Oh, yeah,
1001
Galleon
Nights.
type deal. If
Pirate
I
ship?
do remember correctly,
There it is.
the same family who owns Adventureland in Des Moines, Iowa, which might be the best amusement park in the country, I believe they did buy Kennywood. So it makes sense.
Coaster
that it's
Heads has
kinda-
never ranked you
It's
guys.
back on the up and up. That's good to know. That's
What's your
good to
place
know.
called in Des Moines?
Adventureland.
That's a fake name.
It's not.
That doesn't sound real.
It's not. Kennywood's a fake name. I mean, it's not even
That's
the fuck-
Kenny's Woods.
Yeah, it's not even the fucking
I'm
family
sorry.
doesn't even own it anymore.
Well, certainly it's Kennywood has grown into not just a family thing.
Wasn't
It's
the
a
movie
city.
Adventureland filmed where?
Kennywood.
Oh, that's in
Yeah,
Pittsburgh.
it was.
because Adventureland
Yeah.
was about a scary zombie apocalypse, and that is exactly what they filmed in that dump.
Okay.
I'm not going to go that far.
Boom.
Michael Cera wouldn't do that.
He wasn't in it.
That was disgusting. Kennywood is not a dump.
Yeah, it is.
In Adventureland.
Jesse Eisenberg.
Same guy.
No, that's fucking
That's Mark
Zuckerberg.
Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
I'm cold.
Anyways, I can't wait to take us to Kennywood's.
How many rides did he show?
All of them.
Yeah, there's only 2.
Oh, okay.
No, there's 2 headliners, brother. Come on.
I just only remember showing like 4.
Yeah, can't wait to see. Can't
No,
wait to
because
see it.
Steel Curtain was
The
Dahn
detail
last
on the
year.
steel curtain's pretty sweet. Having
Football?
The football laces on the.
See that?
That's neat. I do like that. I do like that. I'm guessing that was Spicuzza. Has that?
Can we
been
run that name? Can we run that video once again, please? Start from the beginning where he says his name. They don't even put a graphic up his name. That worries me. But that's the talking group. Talking. What's the name of the podcast? Talking Coasters.
Talking Coast.
Oh, you're not even that locked in.
Group Coaster.
We're getting
sad
word
to see.
here that Exterminator's final run is 2025, and then they're going to knock it down and build a bigger one. So,
Oh, hell yeah.
I like that move. I like that move.
Man, these coasters are going to be great in 10 years, huh?
No, overnight. This is Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
What do you think
okay.
this is, bud? Oh, we need some steel to build it. Okay, we'll fucking go down by the river.
We'll see.
Also,
Yeah.
whatever bullshit Ty was trying to sell, the other company already owned that park. They sold it to.
Yeah, because they hated your place.
Nah, that's way better than Kennywood. You guys would know if you've seen it, if you've been there.
Do we have this guy's podcast again? Or
He's
no?
looking.
Oh, we lost it. It's gone.
Oh, yeah.
I think we're never going to see that.
Poopycoasters.com.
That thing's gone. That pisses me off. I will say, I'll open my phone, and my natural reaction is just to hit an update, and I'll see a tweet, and I'm like, ooh, and it's gone forever. And I'm never going to find it.
Same on IG.
Yeah,
I'll be like watching a video, and maybe I'll like scroll out of it by accident, and then I'll try and find it again. It's gone.
Gone forever. You got no shot.
It's gone.
I am happy that Instagram seemingly has stopped putting things at the top of the page that drop you into live things.
Yes.
Do you remember when they were doing that?
Yeah.
Whenever a live would pop up and it was the entire top of the screen where you would be resetting it, and then all of a sudden there's one fucking live viewer in this, and who is it? Me.
Yeah.
And by the way, the person that's streaming knows that you're here.
Hey! Stick around!
Give me the fuck. I'm so sorry. Good to see you. All right. There was like 4 or 5 of those. I'm like, hey Zuck, can we fucking
knock it off?
I get we want people to go in there, but like that is a very pivotal part of the screen here, you know, and you're dropping me into this whole thing. Feels like social media's really figuring it all out, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Group text was tough.
I mute most of them.
I think they were hoping one guy did.
Yeah.
No
He
doubt.
did. He was in there. You do got to watch, you know, with people getting new phone numbers, sending to old phone numbers. That scares me. Like I have to check, is this like new, insert name new, or is it insert name newest?
Yeah.
Or insert name newest, you know? Always have to check that. Accidentally putting somebody into a group text, not good.
The worst.
Not good, because now everybody's got their number exposed. If you're going to send war plans, I don't know if that's the way to do it.
No chance. Jeez. Got to be an email.
At least put it in a Dropbox.
Yeah. Or make one big long video that's impossible to text.
Bingo.
Yeah, or have a pass.
Why is that happening?
I have no idea.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's gotten so much worse. Back in the day, I could send you 3, 4, 5, 6 minute video, no problem.
Yep.
Now you can't even do 2-minute video.
Can't do it.
They want people to airdrop. They're pushing airdrop.
I know, but airdrop's not always possible.
Yeah.
It's not always feasible.
I know.
It's iCloud link. That's what they're pushing. They're pushing iCloud link,
Yeah.
and then people's iClouds get full, so you can't send that video. Then what? Guess what you got to do?
Pay
you gotta pay
$3.99
for more iCloud.
Got to buy more.
Yeah.
I looked at the number of photos and videos that I have the other day on the flight because I started putting things into albums.
Sure.
I like that.
Yeah, it was a cool
They're
thing.
making playlists.
Yeah, it's a cool thing. I'm putting photos into albums, you know, so I feel like they're forcing us to do that with the way it all just sit there.
Yeah.
The number of photos and images that I have on there is absurd.
What?
It is a very, 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 very
I
big
assume
number.
you pay a lot for iCloud every month.
Now I'm kind of curious.
It's a huge number. I don't even know if I want to say it with how big it is.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Huge number.
Yeah. 27,300 items.
You're at 27,000?
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty good numbers. Those pretty good numbers.
Got 100,000 in there?
97,000.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm like, what? And then voice memos. Do you remember when I would send you a voice memo open every single day for the podcast?
Yep.
Or for the show?
Yep.
Oh, those are in there?
I was scrolling through my voice memos, you know, because there's I have some things, like some comedy story concepts that I thought of that I put in my voice memo just over the years that I've created, thought of and had and curated or whatever. So I'm scrolling back through my voice memos, and obviously none of them have a name. They just have numbers. And I'm like, well, this one's 2.5 minutes long. Let's see what this is. And it's, hello, beautiful people. It's like, golly. And then I go to the next one, same exact. I'm like, how many of these fucking things? And I go through the day. It was like 100-something straight of me just sending these voice memos that are still just sitting on my phone. They have to be eating up something somewhere. I have no idea they exist.
They are.
Definitely space.
And then all the, missed text messages, 38 of them, never going to be able to find them.
Nope.
Where are they?
No chance.
How come I can't just get rid of those, Tim?
They're in the cloud.
Yeah, they're in the cloud somewhere. That's why I've reset my iCloud. I switched my iClouds in 2020, I believe.
How good of a play is that?
It was great, but I mean, you already build it back up. But if you've never done that, then yeah.
My texts are only from 1 year, though.
Where are your pre-2020?
On my old laptop as a backup.
Okay, I was gonna say if you're gonna do that, back it all up because it will erase everything.
Yeah, but so I had to.
Yeah, but what do you need pre-2020?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like
Kids.
all the numbers,
Memories?
Yeah, memories, man.
I didn't have
Family.
those back then. I didn't have memories back then.
but like all the numbers that you have, like think about all the numbers you just accrue over time that you just don't use anymore.
Yeah, so I have the 1 year for the texts. I scrolled all the way back to the beginning. I don't know where these 38 are. Yeah. I literally went all the way. This is how much time I've had on planes, obviously, whenever you're doing this, because I'm sick of looking at this number. I'm like, where the fuck is it? I don't know where they are.
You got to start deleting.
What?
Just
No, there should be an
entire
update where
combos.
it's just like mark all as red.
Bingo. Yeah, because
like you can do with emails.
Yeah. And on emails, at least you can hit that lower left button and show unread.
Right.
And then, like, even if you can't find it, they'll pop up some bullshit that second email down that you definitely saw.
Yeah.
But they marked as unread, and then you can easily get rid of it. It's like this text one, I don't know how you beat the game. I don't know how you beat it. It used to be bigger. And then I responded to a bunch of people like 6 months later. I'm like, hey, sorry, I missed this. I'm so sorry. Like a birthday response because I'm trying to get rid of the number and I don't want to be an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
And then now there's just 38 sentences.
I don't know if it's a new update, but you can definitely click read all. I just did it.
Where?
So in the upper left, right next to the text button, there's those 3 dots.
No, I don't have the
Yeah, it's update then.
Upper left.
So I can just get rid of all
Sorry,
those?
upper right. That's my fault.
Yeah, upper left is edit still, right?
There it is. Yeah, he's right.
So it's the new update?
Select. No, I don't have the
Just
new one.
the 3 dots, you hit select messages.
I don't have it. I don't fucking have it. Of course I don't. This fucking thing. I'm so sick of it.
It is under edit. It's under edit too. If you click on
I
edit,
can filter
you can
by
select
I can
messages.
filter by unread messages.
Oh yeah, read all. Yeah. So if you click edit, select messages. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Zero! Thank you. Thank you in the back.
Great work.
Oh my gosh.
Apple Genius.
Oh, if you're watching and I haven't responded to a text message, I'm so sorry. It's never coming. Never coming. It's never coming.
Got it done.
Did it.
Oh my gosh.
What a day.
I used to have to like do math. Like, okay, 37 is a new text now today.
That sucks.
38 means one new text. And then I have like 47 sitting there. I'm like, am I opening up to 9 new text messages here, or is this potentially a new number? We just beat the game. Thank you, Tim. Hey, Tim, thank you.
Great work, Tim.
We knew you'd be thinking of that, Tim Apple. Thank you for doing that. Would have been cool. I'd make that shot with Dick V.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Instead, I missed it.
He was on top of it.
He was.
Yeah. Stop looking at the ball.
Coach. Classic coach.
How long? Well, so many follow-up questions. How long do you think they're doing like the reps thing on his vocal cords?
Ooh.
Yeah, is that forever?
Probably.
Like, did we just take up like 4 days worth of time?
No, because he just did the ACC tournament for basketball,
Did
and
7
that's
games.
like, yeah. I mean, like I would assume after that, maybe he probably has to go an extended period without really talking. But he was, like he was doing the games like he had always done them. Being very demonstrative and like yelling, being excited and everything. It's not like it really changed how he called the game.
Yeah, like last week, I bet, is when he wasn't doing.
Rested up.
Yeah.
It is nice to go for a while without talking. As professional talkers, it is nice to just kind of. But then every time, I wonder, is it still there? That's a wild, weird place to be. When you have no idea if anything's going to come out. Like, I wonder if that entire convo, he was wondering if it was going to drop out, like he said he was during the games.
Scary.
Yeah, especially because if you like, any of that, that's not good sound.
And it's it's no monotone with him. It's juice.
All the time.
All the time.
We appreciate you, Dickie V.
Hell yeah, Dickie.
Shout out to Coach Calipari, Derik Queen, and shout out to all of you for allowing us to do this for a living. We will, I think LeBron James going to be on the show tomorrow. Pretty cool.
Yeah, I'd say.
Hell yeah.
LeBron James
LeBron James.
is going to be on the program. That's crazy to think about.
Insane.
Let's have a little fun with the king.
Amen.
Let's learn about LeBron James. Let's peel back the onion a little bit and not do an interview, but have a conversation with him.
I like that.
Okay? Every podcast host ever. I don't want to do interviews. I want to do conversations. I want to learn about you as a person, not as your profession. Good mindset, good goal. Hopefully we are able to do that with LeBron. And I can't wait to learn about this guy. How is he in such good shape at this age? How has he been able to kind of navigate the waters of being one of the most famous people on earth since he's like a teenager? How's he been able to navigate coming from nothing, having everything at a very young age? Remember that Hummer was a massive story whenever he got in high school, obviously. Signs a massive deal. I think he was supposed to go with one company. His mom tells him to go listen to another company. Nike ends up signing him. He's rich since he's, it's like put all of his friends on, and family. I can't wait to chat with him. All right, we'll be back tomorrow. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice that might change their life. We're in this thing together. Team on me. Team on 3. 1, 2, 3. Team. Good night.